Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today on this fine Taco Tuesday? I'm going to take us into the intro, then I'll be back to do all the things we do. Oh, so many steps. Let me make sure I have it turned down. All right. Home in the valley, home in the city, home isn't pretty, ain't no home for me. Home in the darkness, home on the highway, home is my way, home I'll never be. Burn out the night, can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living forgiving the devil is cold. I'm burning, I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Sorry to pause this chat, but could you please let me know how it's playing? Because it sounds good to me, and it did yesterday, but I went back and listened to the lives, and it was awful. And I don't know why, unless it was StreamYards, because I'm using the same thing I used yesterday. But I'll let it finish, but please let me know. The intro is too fast. It's not sped up. It's on normal speed. No. It's on normal speed. Let me do something here. Let me take the quality down. Sometimes that'll help. Let me know if this makes any difference. See, it sounds fine for me. It's breaking up. Let me go back, stop sharing, go out and reload. Oh, I'm not in the mood for StreamYards today. I'm really fucking not. I'm so tired of paying money for crap. Let me try reloading it. No, I don't want YouTube Studio. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm just going to blow off the intro, I guess, because I don't know what's going on. It's playing right from YouTube through StreamYards. You know, it's not separately loaded. I'm playing it right from my YouTube, right through YouTube. So I don't know. Try it one more time. Let me know if this made a difference. Tell me no reason. Got no time to show. Time everlasting. Time to play big shot. Tell me I'm not sad. Time I'll never know. Can you guys hear me at all now? Okay, let me start over. I don't know where it stopped. So, Lord, it's going to be a day, huh? Did you guys hear anything I said? No? Okay. It was just it's been a day. It rained so freaking hard this morning. The school bus was 35 minutes late. I had to bring my son back and change his shoes and socks. Thank goodness the bus was late. So that made me 35 minutes late for my doctor's appointment, which they weren't a happy camper about. And of course, I didn't have a phone, so I could call and tell them I was running late because, Walmart's didn't deliver that damn thing like they were supposed to yesterday. Oh, of course not. Um, anyway, then the hubby was late for work. That don't happen. It's just been a whole. And now I'm having issues with StreamYard and YouTube not playing right. It's still cackling. I don't know. But I'll start over saying hi to everybody. Hey, Julia. Hey, Hope. Hey, Marcy. Hey, One Way Street. Hey, Voices. It's sped up. Yeah, I turned it off. It's on normal speed. I don't have it sped up. Hey, MN Greg. Hey, Thor. Hey, Captain Ganja. I don't know what's going on because I'm playing that intro directly from YouTube. Not on my, I don't have it loaded on my StreamYards. I'm playing it directly from my channel on YouTube. And then playing it, then it goes through StreamYard like I do the videos. I don't know what's going on. I checked everything on my end and it's fine. It has to be StreamYards and YouTube not working together again. I'm tired of paying for shit that don't work, honestly. I really am. Hey, Fairy Meadows. Hey, Bullseye. Hey, Amy. Hey, Step Not That Step. Don't side on me. Hey, Running Bear. Good to see you. Hey, Elsie. Hey, Clemson Girl. How are you? Hey, Nevada Gal. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Ava. Whispers in the shadows. I could use that. Misery loves company. It sure the hell does. It really, really does. Hey, it's me, Amberly. Good to see you. Hi, Story Night. Thank you. And you know I'm talking. Thank you for I'll tell you that. Hey, Brianna. Oh, yours too, Brianna? Yeah. Hey, T. Hey, Peas. Hey, Hazel Eyes. Hey, Allie Only. Hey, Daz. Hey, Midwest. Mike. Mike. Hey, Brittany. Hi, Sally Mae. Uh, hey, Chatty. Hey, Casual Art. Darby C. Callie Cat. 1069. Hi, Naomi. Okay, so it's already been a day. It's after 3 o'clock, and I'm not even started yet. But I'll give YouTube once they're a couple minutes. I don't know. So, oh, and the other, I'm not even going to address it. I addressed it privately. I just, you want your wrench, so I'll take it. I don't give. I'm over this shit. Number one, I didn't do it. I didn't know about it, and I handled it privately. But why would you blame me for it? That just shows me you were looking for a reason in the first place. Just saying. That's just me. I'm just fed up with the bullshit. I really am fed up with the bullshit. I'm fed up with the fake friends. I'm just fed up. But today, only because she really pissed me off and I'm in that kind of a mood. I don't even know why I tuned into her live. Probably because there was nothing else on and I was bored. But I'm glad I did. I can't believe this thing in the wall spews out of that trap of hers. I'm blown away. Oh, Maud the other night came in under an alt account, and I wasn't aware of it. I went after the alt account thinking, hey, telling them they could exit left, they could get out. I didn't know till after the fact. But I did handle it off YouTube. And it wasn't done to, I get where she was coming from. She wasn't doing it to, hey, see something, say something, to, I don't know, she could address it herself. I didn't, it's not, like I said, I handled it off of YouTube like an adult. Hey, Violet. Oh, thank you, Violet. It will. It's just, I don't know. Hey, Wendy. Um, she did afterwards and said, no, no, I'm sorry. And she apologized in chat. And she said she just wanted to see what would happen. I'm like, huh? And she, the comment wasn't that great, but it's, I don't know. I don't want people doing that. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of it because I was on the alt account too, telling it to get out. I thought it was a troll. I said, get out. Uh, but then whenever, she started addressing it in chat, I didn't want to make it. I thought I could handle it off of YouTube. And that's what I did. But it wasn't, I don't know. I don't know. When the devil comes after you, he attacks from every angle. Well, you ain't a kidding. Doctor didn't have great news for me today either, which I didn't expect. But so Betty had court. Nah, I told y'all she wasn't going to jail. However, she's gonna say it's a win. It's not a win. Listen to the words spoken by the court carefully. The only thing she did was drag it out and cost her subs more money, and Tony and Seth more money. The court made it clear about the restraining order or protection orders. She's not going to listen. She's going to go right back live talking about them people, accusing them of murmur and everything else. But the one thing that her and her attorney did file for, which was just ridiculous to even file a motion for something that hadn't even happened yet, that speaks volumes. Speaks volumes about the attorney. But anyway, that got dismissed. So what exactly did she win? She said numerous times, it will all be over with today. How many times did she say that on her live? That she did nothing wrong. They did. They violated her rights, and it will all be over with today. The whole time lying to you guys. Because her lawyer didn't, at the last minute, say, let's get an extension. Okay? She's been lying all along. She knew she wasn't fighting nothing today. She knew that they had wanted, and they weren't going to, they were going to try to get this extension today. But everybody believes everything Betty says. Well, not everybody, just the people in her chat. And it's not going to go away. And she's not going to stop. And she could possibly face a lot more violations. The court made it clear. The judge made it clear. And Betty, Court TV, were they there? Wasn't that just that little local station that was there? And where was the dog, Betty? Thought he was supporting you. Where was he? Uh, but Tony and Seth, and what you did today, what you did today, you put a piece of trash ahead of Sebastian. You chose that piece of trash over your child. That's it for me. That's it for me. The little grace I had is gone. Yeah. I can't. Yeah, he should be very. Hey, Kelly. He should be very, very. Hey, Alan. Good to see you. He should be very, very ashamed of himself. But he's not. Because it's not been about Sebastian. It's been about me, 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 me. And who he chooses to support. Katie and Chris handled themselves very well, very appropriately today. Though I'm sure they wish they could have did more. Sadly, Betty gets another month to stalk, harass, and threaten them. There's, you know, it's, I don't care how you feel. I don't care how much you dislike your ex. When it comes to a child being involved and a child missing, you put your selfish ass aside. He's not capable. He showed me that. Hey, Sarah. And hey, Meg. I don't like saying anything. I've been careful because I said at the end of the day, he's still Sebastian's father. Once I saw him walk into that courtroom today, no, nope, no. No matter what, that is his son's mother. He loves his mother, and she clearly loves him. There's just no excuse. I don't want to hear, well, they're using him, they're messing with his head. He's going through the worst time. It's like, nope, no, no. That excuse no longer works. No. Hey, Snippets. Hey, Catherine. I don't, she was there. She was there. Yeah, I, but she's going to get on here and say how much it's a win. It's a win win. No, it's not a win. Actually, it's a big nothing burger. And all your promises about how this is going to go away today, it did not. As a matter of fact, it just showed how serious this is. And the judge made it known he wasn't going to keep dragging this out because there are protection orders here. You won't get away with it, Betty. You can't afford the attorney anyway. And you know you can't. You don't have the financial support that you tell people you have. And you know it. And I know it. If that's the case, never mind. I won't go there. But Tony and Seth better open up them wallets. Better get out them cards. Better get out them cards. Hey, Kenna. Hey, Aries. Hey, nope, not today. Hey, Miss Fletcher. And the Catherines are rocking the house today. I think I did get you sweet sativa, but I'll say hi again. Vivian P. Sean is just huge. No bulletproof vest. Yeah, that wasn't a bulletproof vest. So that's what's like Chris and Katie raising another child. I had a baby daddy like seven. Oh my God. Yes, Amberly. Yes. It was like a third child. They had to financially assist him. They had to move him. They had to help him get a job. Hey, Revival. Revival, I handled that. I'm sorry if you felt any kind of way. I was as blown away as you were. Hi, Banana Bicycle Seat. I could have used you today. And you know when you show up late for a doctor's appointment, if it's more than 10 minutes, they don't see you. You're back out that door, you reschedule. But it was an important appointment. Yeah, it was important. I couldn't, what was I supposed to do? Leave my 6-year old at the bus stop, waiting on the bus? No matter waiting on the bus or going to the drop off line, it would have been the same because the bus was 35 minutes late. So, regardless, it would have been the same. Thankfully, but they make you wait. So, I don't have a phone yet, thanks to Walmart. Hey, let's be honest. So, I took my tablet and I know that they have guest Wi-Fi. So, I knew I could you know, be in and out in case something happened with court in case because there was always a good chance I could have been wrong and she would have went to jail. But, um my doctor likes to listen to he gets a kick out of it. He gets a kick out of it. He'll come in, he'll sit down, he'll say, "Who we watching today?" That just shows you how much I see him, you know? Sometimes I think I see him more than I need to, but, you gotta do what you gotta do. It was funny, though. I wish I stayed in Germany. Oh, my son loved when he visited Germany. He went there when he was in college his freshman year. They went over there to play, football. They played a couple German teams schools over there, and the only thing he didn't like is they gave him warm beer with his breakfast at McDonald's. He was not a happy camper. He called me having a fit. He's like, "Mom, they expect you to drink warm, pissy beer with your breakfast? What's wrong with these people?" It's good to see you, let's be honest. How are you? Aries, I bet you have some good pictures and videos. They were there. My son, the college team, the whole football team went. It was freaking insane. Um, it was expensive as hell too, and that was years ago, over 20 years ago. So, um, they had a good time though. They were there for like 10 days. Mom, what's going on? Hey, Lady Starfire. Yeah, I don't do. Hey, Cheese. Whoa. The judge said that there is a difference between the ordered POs now they are in effect on the Bower Sox, but she's known that. She's known that. And she'll violate again because she thinks she can. She thinks she can get away with it. I think, if anything else, I think, and Betty's lawyer was not a happy camper today. That was evident. Unless that's just his mannerisms, his nature. I don't know. Um, and Betty, you had on them damn Timu hair extensions. Why? Your hair looked like it was 150 different colors. And then you got it layered around your face like Crimes and Fashions. Girl, stop. You could never, ever hold a match to her. That woman has more class in her pinky than you'll ever have in your whole body. Oh, I would love that. Let's be honest. I would love that. So today we're going to, unfortunately, just some of it, we're going to, that thing in the wall. And then there's some other stuff I want to show you. There's some other stuff I want to show you. I really wish she'd change her name. Because anytime I hear voices, I think of the good voices. The wall thing, if you don't say the thing in the wall, I'll forget who you're talking about. No, hence the thumbnail. But she actually did a live of her own without that amazing, brilliant panel. She did have someone up, but not, the panel, the power panel, you know. But would he help look for a black child or a Mexican child? She's saying that about dog. That's her thumbnail. Oh, girl. So she did another live after this one. Uh, nah, dog's known for his racist shit. So I have no idea. Probably not. But he's well known. I mean, there's recordings, there's pictures of his statements, there's canceled shows, there's video. I mean, I don't know. The 3 that have been extended for 1 year, those violations are criminal. The ex parte that Chris has, his violations are civil until she has done 2, and then they turn criminal. Well, she's done that. And I think she's going to face more. I do. I think, hey, Rain Dancer. Oh, Nick. Oh, my gosh. Oh, we're going to look at him. If you guys want to, we can look at what he's posted. I think, and this is just my opinion, and so far I've been kind of spot on. I think she's going to end up facing more violations because Betty's going to go harder. In Betty's mind, to prove to her audience that she's right and she did nothing wrong, she's going to have to go harder. And because it also, in her twisted, distorted reality, she doesn't think she did anything wrong. The judge begrudgingly allowed a continuance. He was quite firm about it. This isn't getting extended out long term. No. There were more charges being filed. There could be. There was other violations. And if she only needs 2 violations to make a criminal on Chris's, or she's done past that a long time ago. A long time ago. And in all honesty, other than Seth and Tony, Betty doesn't have the financial support she brags about. If she did, she'd have been able to raise more than $2,000. But that's, again, just my opinion. Oh, and I'm going to play music because I don't trust this thing in the wall anymore than I can see her. And I don't want to see her ever. But she said some really. Sometimes you wonder where these people come from. Climb out of. Oh, I can hear Brittany and them. Oh, Benny! Oh, Benny! We're so happy for you! You dumbass. There's nothing to be happy about. Oh, Griffney. Well, so over there. Betty, like Spanky did. But at least Spanky, he must have made it right because that is the only way they would be buddies again. Remember what Betty said. She doesn't give second chances. Ever. You just got blocked by a pro Betty chat. Good for you. Yay. Hey, Bathtub Mary. I love the name. Clover. That means you've made it. Good for you. Join we're all the misfits over here, by the way. And don't forget, hit that like. If you're not subbed up, sub up. That's a YouTube thingy. But the channel memberships helps the channel keep going. You can do that. That's a neat thingy. But the other stuff, YouTube requires for the algorithm and all that crazy shit, Yeah. BJ is always grateful for her videos. She can play 1,000 times. Oh, I didn't even look at her. Um, I'm Revival. Did you catch any of Chesh's live yesterday? I caught a good bit of it. Then I went back afterwards and replayed it because I had to take care of stuff. Oh, thank you, Darcy. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, welcome to Poolside, whoever. Please thank Darcy. You are now a Poolside misfit like the rest of us. You misfit too. We're all misfits. Hey, Kitten Capoodler. She got a conference of what? A news conference? Well, that little tiny station doesn't have much news, so, Betty, have your 15 minutes. Let's see how that 15 minutes does you in a 9x12. Because that's just going to make your ego even worse, and you're really going to go after them harder. Even though the judge made it clear. And I'm hoping more charges are filed tomorrow. Can't say it wouldn't happen to a better person. I'm truly concerned for the Bower Sox and the Proudfoots. Because we all know that there are some people who really take this too far. And I mean, look at what we're doing to Crude and his family. These people are actually going in person now. And yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. I'm truly concerned. Betty's pigtails. Oh my god. Demon Chihuahuas in the house. There's a lot going on over there. Fit to be tied? Yeah, I think it's kind of mixed up one, that's for sure. It's multiple violations, and the thing is, that hasn't stopped it either. The judge should have considered that. Why their lawyer and the DA didn't step up and say so, I don't know. But it clearly tells you Betty's attorney was not prepared to fight this case today. Which also enforces the fact she lied. She did not retain this attorney on the 8th. She may have had a telephone conference, but she did not retain this attorney until she went to Tennessee in person for her protest and stuff. That's when the actual retainer was put in place. Hey, White Crimes and Mayhem. Tuesday, everyone. Hey there. Yeah, I'm not. I didn't think she was going to jail today. I do. Hey, Remy. Hey, Maureen. But see, we don't know what was said behind closed doors in that conference in his office prior to them coming into court. Something tells me this judge wasn't all sweet and lovey to Betty, or googly-eyed fan of Betty's, like Betty has in her delusional mind. And she thinks everyone's a fan. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give trigger warning here, because this is going to get gross. And I'm not kidding you. This thing in the wall, Someone needs to duct tape her mouth. And I'm being nice. Someone needs to duct tape her mouth. Hey, K-Mash, you'll see why.
Gathered across the country, Americans have now started claiming their latest benefit. This is a program approved by the administration in 20.
Whatever.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally...
Ran a bunch of drugs. Like, he just did a bunch of shit. He got out one.
Okay, now she's gonna
himself for years. Leland's still a badass name, don't get me wrong, but just dog himself as a human. I mean, like, yeah, of course, I knew he was a murderer at least one time, you know, but he did his time. He got out, whatever. Ran a bunch of drugs. Like, he just did a bunch of shit, right? And then change, but then come out and he's this big bad.
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, he did do time for the UGSs. Yeah.
Bounty hunter taking down people doing the exact same shit that he did. It's so fucked up. But
she blocked you.
Dog's show has been, after Beth died, just down the drain. His entire family just really effed up. Dog the bounty hunter loves to drop the N-word way more than Don Wells does, by the way. Let's not forget that his daughter married or had a child with or something to a black man, and Dog, Dwayne Chapman, lost his shit. N-word this, N-word that, like, straight up. Him and Don Wells from the same books. I don't know what to tell you. Hi, Carol. So anyways, then the new wife pushed him to do stuff because she's all about the fame and everything, right? Just all about it. Oh, look at her all transforming. What is this? Yeah. However, so one thing he throws up on there, he says, and it says it right on his show, right? It'll have a little thing written on like a backdrop of something, and he says that he was in a biker gang. Motherfucker, you're not supposed to call it a biker gang. So what the hell? Okay?
He was never a biker.
Whatever. I need to remind people, the show is heavily scripted.
Nuh-uh.
It is a show.
No, you mean we didn't know that it was staged? No, sir. You've got to be kidding me. See, you are just brilliant without your panel. But we're going to move on from you putting the dog down, because I really don't give two shits about the dog.
Unfortunately, long before he ever was, that was just like cherry on the top for me. SF is involved. Well, Lord help us all. Lord help us all.
Why? He's the only one that's actually licensed, certified, and trained. What are you talking about?
Oh, you know, if he's out there looking, whatever, but I don't trust that one as far as you can throw him. Oh, I wasn't even sharing screen. Sorry. But like, where was Dog? Like, people are saying for Summerwells. I have never seen a...
Hey, Val. She can say she retained that lawyer on the 8th all she wants. And her little twisted, distorted reality, she may believe that. A phone call is not a retainer. A partial payment is not a retainer. The retainer must be paid in full the minute you sign that contract. Once that contract's signed and the money is paid, then he's your lawyer. That didn't happen till she went down there for her little protest. She can say what she wants. The court dockets prove it. Because there's no way on this earth that he would let an attorney get away with her going to jail for 19 hours. Because he didn't do his job? No. Come on. Betty would have already filed a lawsuit. She wouldn't have waited 24 hours.
case like this kid's case. Oh yeah, for real? You mean just because Summer Wells isn't like that high profile? As I said, because Tim Mullen kept it from being high profile because he said he wanted the fires that he had to put out to be smaller. Anyone remember that?
Oh yeah. All right, everybody, let's do it. Let's push for the dog to use the truth serum on BHV. Let's do it. Let's push. Can I ask some questions? Oh boy, do I have some too.
Hi, Noni. Hi, Jamie. Erica. Between customers. Okay. Hi, Anina's.
I didn't.
Where were they for summer?
Did I?
Yeah, but she doesn't have that big of a profile, right? But Sebastian does. And here comes Big Bad Dog. You can run, but you can't hide. You said that shit in Brian Laundrie's too, and he did run. He did hide. Allegedly shot himself. That's not in my conspiracy mind what really happened. All right, I do think Brian Laundrie's out there somewhere. I know I'm crazy.
My gosh.
That's just my opinion, my channel. So it is.
What? You think he's out there? They have remains. He's been identified. Why on earth would they lie about finding him? Huh? Oh, I told you it gets bad. And that's not even bad. Just wait. It's going to get bad.
It is what it is. But, you know, we did a bunch of photo ops.
Yep, Val, I think we should all get at least 3 minutes for questions. Hey, Feisty, good to see you. Hey, Jet. I know some people came in. I want to make sure I get everybody. I seen a couple people. If I didn't catch you coming in, hey, Corinne, I will catch you in chat. I will see you. Hey, Michelle, I will see you. Links posted. If anybody chooses, they may join me, and let's watch this. Like I said, some things are meant to stay in the walls. Hey, Claus.
Like he's jumping on boats. And, he's for sure in Hawaii and all this shit. Like whatever he tried to do. Hi, Just Cat.
He actually lived in Hawaii, and they had a house in Colorado. Sketchy, the whole situation, but fact.
And yeah, just listening to him talk. I was re-listening again. Was he really talking about it a month ago? I didn't hear it. Mom's suspect. Let's just do this for a second right quick.
Ibuprofen. So Will's feeling better.
They're legally robbing you. And it's happening every time you pay for car insurance.
No shit.
Here's the deal.
Why didn't you invite her to the wedding?
As hard as it is and as heartbreaking as it
Lying
is,
bitch.
We had to make a decision
Dirty
that
hoe.
was very difficult for us. We've been through hell, him and I, in the past 3 years.
Oh, why? Because you were banging him while his wife was dying of cancer?
I am not going to allow our day to be ruined by this nonsense.
The accusations are serious and scathing.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, she definitely put a rift between him and his children. As far as I know, like, most of the kids just bowed out after this bitch comes.
Oh my gosh, I have to agree with her. Oh, she's so right about all this, though. Francine, you were best friend. How do you look at yourself in the mirror? That woman was dying of cancer. My, have you changed up? You like that attention that you get being the dog's other half. You definitely changed it up some, huh? Yeah. Don't worry, baby. Karma always comes around and has a way to get you. And that's the extent as far as I think I'll ever agree with you.
Into the situation. Who was, yes, someone tried to say I was a liar. It was absolutely.
No, you're not lying. He was bunking her while his wife was laying suffering from cancer. Yes, he very much was.
One of Beth's close friends, best friends, good friends. Her best friend is Shannon Tweed, who was there right by her side as she was
Gene
sick and
Simmons
ill
ex.
and dying, and Gene Simmons. But this bitch was very, very close to them. I don't like her. Obviously, his own family feel the exact same way.
The kids were pissed that he was turning around and marrying her right away. Everybody knows that. This has been all over everywhere.
I do.
Dog's daughter claiming he is racist, homophobic, and was unfaithful to her late mother, Beth, who died just over 2 years ago.
Did you cheat on Beth?
Yes.
No, never.
Liar.
Never.
Take your glasses
She says
off and
he
say
began to have an affair with a friend of my mom's while she was in the hospital.
Beth was in the hospital 3 times. I was there every
Beth,
single second
my
with her.
idol.
I went home the night.
You were there every single second as long as a camera was running. Remember, dog? We watched it. Just saying.
Before she passed away with her mother and her sisters.
No, she was alone. You guys had all left the hospital for the night. She was alone. That was said on your show, dog.
Because they said she won't pass away, dog, with you standing here. So I left. 3 hours later, she passed away. So when did I have time?
Actually, what he said on the show during the episode was, well, damn, we left for dinner. You know, they told me that this could go on all night, so we went ahead and left. And you know why it sticks out to me? Because I've been in those situations. Anyway, the episodes are still on A&E. You can watch it. I'm not going to get struck showing an episode or even a clip of an episode, but that's what was said.
I'm a good man. I would have never done that.
22-year-old Bonnie also claims she was not invited to her dad's wedding because she supports the Black Lives Matter movement.
Do you support that organization?
Yes, I do. I've never been a racist. I'm 33.5% Apache. But because of over 15 years ago, I have an Achilles heel because I used the wrong word.
No.
15 years ago is the first time you got outed in public for it, but that's not all you did, and that is not the only time. There's been recordings of you. Your last show was canceled halfway through the season of filming because of your antics. So yeah, okay.
Actually, okay, that's one thing, but you said people's.
Well, let me ask you about that. That moment 15 years ago.
Yes, sir.
That phone call with your son.
Correct.
Listen, I hear you, Venice. Like, I know, and you know, that's the whole.
That phone call was just one of many, many, many things to prove you're wrong, dog.
Another subject. I agree with you. Shit. Is there no sound on it? You guys can't hear the sound?
Oh yeah, he's many times come out against his kids. Dog has a lot of kids, but was not always active in their lives, and some none at all. Yeah, he's never been shy about coming out in public against his own children.
Are you guys hearing the sound of this? Good work. Hey, maybe try on. Her dumbass can go through whatever she's going through, even if that happens. That I will. She's not my people. I don't like her one bit, but I don't care. I mean, it is what it is with that. But here, okay, Amanda. Okay, good. Oh, you can feel how you want to feel. Again, I don't say any of this lightly. I named my child after his child. My son's name is Leland.
Hey,
So
Juicy
this doesn't
Jules.
make me happy to say that I lost all respect for this man years
That's
ago.
what he says. He's always claimed that voice.
Then all of a sudden,
Yeah, he's always claimed that. Hence why he wears the, I call them roach clips in his hair, the feather clips. Those are like, back in my day, that's how you got your roach clips, for your joints. They'd have feathers or beads or something on them. That's what he wears in his head. What he's always worn in his head. Oh, thank you for coming up. You saved me. You didn't want
I've been
me
sitting back here
alone.
for half an hour.
I am so sorry. I didn't think anybody wanted to come up. So you didn't have to, but I really appreciate you coming up.
Hey, I came up
need
here.
somebody that can reel me in today.
I needed to come up here just so I could talk about Dog, because this guy's a fool. And all of a sudden, you just suddenly made my childhood so much more clear. You know, when we would be at the fair every August, the end of July and beginning of August, and you would win carnival games, and you would get those feather clips were always to be chosen from. I always thought they were for my hair. Now I understand why my mom always made them disappear.
Yeah, I've never once put one in my hair with them metal clips. I used them for my roaches, or to hold the joint when I didn't want to mess up my nails.
The more time has gone on, I'm beginning to realize my mom was a secret pothead. Like suddenly all kinds of things are being made clear. And, she passed away a few years ago, so I never got to actually ask her those questions. But now suddenly, like my childhood, when you said that about, those feathers, I was like, oh, now I know why those always disappeared. Son of a gun. So here we are.
My mom never, I know one time I was in my 30s and I decided to go back to college again and work 2 jobs and raise a kid and a husband and everything. Dumbass. But anyway, my husband was out of state working and we had just moved into this house. It was my first night there. It was the first night in the house. He left as soon as everything got moved in. They took off. Well, it's in the middle of wintertime. We got a lot of snow back here. And we were in the middle of a storm. The side door just flew open. It was kicked in. Thank God for my dog. It was enough to make the dude run, but they followed his footprints down into the wooded area, the woods, but they wouldn't go in because the snow was so deep and stuff. But anyway, it ended up being for the people that lived in the house that moved out. Apparently, they had some situation going on. And the dude actually got in trouble. So,
damn,
it was crazy. But my mom worked nights and she got off at like 2 a.m. and she came up to my house, 30-something years old. And my mom looks at me and says, look, you got some of that funny stuff you use. Go outside and do it because you need to calm your ass down.
Bless her heart.
I about fell over. I was like, oh my, are you kidding? I couldn't do that. My mother was right there. It was just funny because, hell, I wasn't going to sleep that night. I was sitting there with freaking hunting rifle in my hand, kicked my door in again, fool.
So this was from Entertainment Tonight. When did this segment air? Do you know?
This was what? Maybe, I believe it was right after the wedding. I'll get the date.
I'll go dig for it. No problem. I just didn't know if this was super recent or, a couple of years old or what.
No, this is, it was after, because that's what all the stuff going on social media and stuff being said about him and Francine. It took him a while to sell this interview, but of course, E.T.,
See, yeah. I just think that I don't think he's and when I hear his name, it just makes my hackles raise. I get just gross.
God, voices, I cannot wait to get a phone.
Oh, well, we'll work on that.
I know it was supposed to come yesterday and it didn't. And of course, I'm over it. So I think
It'll be
I'm
here
gonna.
tomorrow. It'll be either late
Oh
tonight or
no,
tomorrow.
no, not till Friday or Saturday is what the email said.
Well, it'll be okay. It'll
No, I got kids. I can't do that no more. I can't go all week. What if something happens with them at school? There's no way for them to contact me.
Well, I mean,
So I think I'm just going to cancel that one and just do what I should have did in the first place and ordered one off Amazon. I don't know. I'm over it. Maybe it's meant for me not to have one again. Maybe I should listen to that.
I think you should just wait until Saturday because it says Saturday, but it may be here quicker.
But if you ever want to get anything screwed up that you order, just let me order it for you. It don't matter who the hell I order from. I don't think I've ever gotten anything on time. Ever.
Honey, I have to pay for Amazon Prime and it takes 4 days to get Amazon stuff here. So it just is what it is.
Yep, I think I'm just done. I'm tired of jinxing. Dog, at least you aren't wearing the same feathers because those are different colors. I know you like to change them up with your shirts. I remember that from the show.
Sudden, like, why Sebastian Rogers case? Why? I heard a lot of other people ask that.
Because there was up to a $50,000 reward put up. That's going to give him incentive. It's also going to give him attention. It's all about the attention.
Clout.
And he wasn't there. Betty said, he was going to be there for her.
On Sebastian
I didn't see him there.
Rogers case.
It won't pause. This is StreamYard.
Same time as pushing a butt.
This is StreamYard, not me. I'm done. I'm going to restream. Betty was bragging to everybody about how Dog was going to be there. I didn't see him anywhere.
You might need to look at your chat. Sweet Sativa's running off about not accurate information.
Wait a minute. Oh, she was timed out? What did she say? I missed it. Can I view them without?
You should be able to roll back up in StreamYard and look at it.
Michael is missing. I'd be searching, and anyone who's not is a crap parent. Actions speak louder than words. Katie left. I went to Mississippi with Chris. Right, this got to be a troll. That's not the real. That can't be the real Sweet Sativa, because she's been in my chat, plenty of times. Hey, T Marie. Hey, Mr. Tomato Head. Hey, Brad. She's been in my chat many a times in other chats.
That's why I thought it was out of character. That's why I made a mention.
Yeah.
Check that.
Yeah, that's a good idea, really, because that doesn't seem like the real Sweet Sativa. Oh, it is her? Wow. Hey, Mystery, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I can't sing, but happy birthday to you. I'm surprised because she's been in here before. She knows where I stand. I'm surprised.
I'm sorry, but we just don't we don't talk poorly about Chris, Katie. I mean, that's because it's by his own admission and his own actions, but we just don't talk poorly about that. Happy birthday.
I can guarantee you one thing. If the tables were turned and it was Chris and Katie there supporting Betty against Seth, I would feel the same way about them. It's wrong. That's putting Betty before your child. That's putting this drama before your child. I would side-eye any parent that does that. I don't care who it is. But she's going to get really nasty here about the Proudfoots.
Why Sebastian? Because Sebastian is out there. He is
no shit.
Very well known, very much high profile. Summer Wells, I would not say is high profile case. She never was a high profile case. Tim the Sandman Mullen stopped that from being a high.
Who are the brothers? I had just, gotten out of prison in 1979 after spending time in 18 months in Texas, and it was probably 3/4 from the black tribe. So that was a word that we used back and forth.
Okay, like if you use that back and forth, cool.
Well, I tell
Whatever,
you
that's
what,
between you and your
Francine definitely has changed it up.
homies. Like,
Oh, shut up, Cher. I don't want to hear
yes,
you.
but this call is an N-word, so guys can click off. You got a problem with what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Just click off of here and watch something else. You have your own opinions. That's okay. And if he's out there really searching, hey, cool.
Yvonne.
Push his book, whatever. At least he's boots on the ground and out there looking. But I haven't seen that yet. Heard a whole lot of talk. I've heard a whole lot of you can run, but you can't hide. Fuckery. I haven't seen him out there with no search team. Does anyone else? No? But discovered your sign. Here's the
boogeyman out there.
Yeah.
There really are. There are evil people who snatch kids away from the one place on earth that they should be completely safe. Their own beds. Just ask the parents of Elizabeth Smart. Just ask the parents of Jessica Lunsford or Polly Klaas or Madeline McCann. Those are kids who were tucked in tight 1 minute, gone the next. And sometimes these kids make it home again. Think about Elizabeth Smart. Oftentimes, sadly, they do not. Always, though, the people who love them keep hoping. And when the headlines fade, the rest of the world moves on. But tonight, we are all hoping for the safe return of Sebastian Rogers. And if you have forgotten Sebastian, and I hope you have not, we are past the 6-month mark from the night that he went to bed back in February.
Hurricane Franchi.
And when I say gone, I mean gone. No notes.
Yeah, we
no
want
leads.
Sebastian
Sebastian's
Combs. This
clothes,
is
even
true.
his shoes were still there. He's 15.
Bam! Hey,
He's from the Nashville area.
I'm gonna
And
give you a
Sebastian has
ring
autism, which does not make
if
the
you're not
search
busy.
or the investigation any easier. The Tennessee police and the
And
FBI
here,
have been on the case
let's
from
do
the
this
start.
today.
And so far,
hold on.
nothing.
You know what? I don't very often drop the link to open the panel. And it's my opinion on my platform. That's all. But you're right. Anyone out looking at it, it's possible. Oh, I'm just talking and you're not out there doing. So as much as I hate some of these people, hey, at least they are out there something. You're right. But
no, when you're out there being a distraction, causing chaos and drama to come to this case, you're not helping.
Leading to Sebastian Rogers' return. And now that reward has doubled to $100,000. Thank Father Seth Rogers. And also with us is Tony Mathis. He speaks for the Rogers family during this emergency. And the man who now is on the Sebastian, we spoke, I think, 10 weeks anything at all.
And we've had some tips. Not pass them over to Sumner County. Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips publicly, or do you have to keep them under?
Do you have to run the water right now?
Hey,
Ginger. Hey, outdoorsy.
Because if they are Sebastian, I don't want somebody that doesn't have his best interests following up on our lead. Some people are doing leads and they don't even want to be involved in this case. And I can understand why. I mean, we've got people that are out here in the social media world that, you know, throw daggers at everybody that's helping me find Sebastian.
They're not helping you, Seth. But
because he put a merry band of criminals together.
Yeah. Your team.
And let's think about this. The original first crew that tried to help him, he fired and slapped C&Ds on because they wanted to check backgrounds on anybody that was going to be closely affiliated.
Yep. You didn't want anybody around you that would do things the right way. Or that wouldn't go after Katie for you.
And you've even had him go to jail now.
Dog, jump in here. You know their own people outside of
them goddamn sunglasses off. If you're gonna jump in this as serious as you are, just take them off. Like, I get the show pony he is, all right, the character he plays, okay? Take the sunglasses off, please. I find that disrespectful when you're interviewing about a missing child. Just take them off for the 30 seconds.
You take this case now that you're on board. How do you do
I'm going to be I'm going to agree with her on that part. It is super disrespectful and it looks like a publicity stunt that he's saying in character. I'm sorry, if Dog wants people to take him serious, he does need to take those off.
Yeah. And Dog, the opened unbuttoned shirts with some of the jewelry's fake. You know it. I know it. That was busted out on one of your shows. But it's time to button it up a little bit, dude. Seriously. I never thought.
I mean, you're 71, for God's sakes.
I never thought it was that good of a look. I don't know.
It's been 6 months plus. How do you even begin?
Well, we began at the very beginning, and because I'm not.
No, we didn't. No, I don't believe they began at the very beginning.
Real law enforcement.
You didn't. No, you didn't. You talked to Tony and Seth. You did not get the facts. That's why you're going to sit there and say crap that don't matter. And you know what? I have no problem with guys getting Botox. Knock yourself out. I'm glad you could. I wish I could. I'd get some right here and right here. But don't have your bottom lip over injected because it's starting to roll out. But you know what? Between your eyes, yeah, you need a little bit more up there. So instead of the extra on the lip, take it up there to the, between the eyes. Seriously, I mean, no shade in getting it done. Do you? But even it out a little bit. Maybe go to, never mind.
Officer, I can do a lot of things that law enforcement cannot do. And I don't.
Like how I've always told people over the years, listen, I am not credentialed in any way. So.
You're not anything. What are you going to do but send naked pictures to missing children's fathers?
Dog is for attention.
So it's very sad because
So do you think that the law is going to be having conversations and allowing dog to help just with that little thing he said right there? I mean, we know that, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the law is
also time that the hair goes, dog. Look how far back your hairline is. You know how ridiculous that looks? It looks like you put a wig on half your head. The hair no longer suits you. I wonder how much of it's real, to be honest with you.
Glory days. In the blink of a young dog's eye. Yeah, glory days.
It looks ridiculous, dude. It's got to go. Or never bend down and never bend your head down. Because it looks ridiculous. Age with grace. We all got to do it. It sucks, but we all got to do it.
What did Dog and Betty have in common? They use the same hairdresser.
They sure, yes. And you know what? Some of the hair extensions she had on today, some of those Temu extensions that were different colors, she needs to give to him because he could use something.
Kathy, I disagree. I don't believe that those were hair extensions. I believe that's her real hair, and it's in all those colors from all.
Oh no, I'm talking about just no. It's her hair. That's her hair. It's different colors. Yes, 100 at least. But remember the longer extensions that she got for
those were Molly's. Those were Molly's. Molly let her wear them for the day for that thing. Those were Molly's. Look at the hair color. It matches Molly's color, not hers. Her color was brass, and Molly gave those to her to put in.
There's no way her hair grew that much in 4 months.
Yeah, like her hair's that long. She just that wasn't hair extensions. That's Betty's hair. Promise.
I don't know. I don't know. But I noticed that she did get the front layered around her face like Crimes and Fashions hairstyle. Betty, don't try it. Don't you couldn't even hold a freaking fireball to her. You know what I mean?
I do think that she was trying to mimic Crimes and Fashion with that haircut.
Mm-hmm.
But I too have that same haircut. When I leave it down, it frames my face. So.
Oh no, hers was totally. It was shaped. You could tell it was. You could tell it was shagged on the sides.
Been giving much information to Tony because dude's got a rap sheet, and Tony so much has said that the law don't really talk to them. But now here we got phone call and ask the men. That'd be interesting.
Sir, I thought the little boy was deceased.
Here we go. Let's hold.
It's fracturing point. So it's very sad because in the very beginning, I thought Sean may be involved in some kind of disappearance, or I thought the little boy was deceased. Days now into it, I have talked to Sean. I know that he...
Talked to who?
Okay, so that is your only source. What him and Tony have told you. You have not gotten anything from law enforcement, and you've also not talked to the other parents involved. So already made up your mind, you're biased.
Oh, Mr. Tomato Head, I think you're right. He looks like he's ready to snap into a Slim Jim.
All right, play.
So at first,
a bigger question: Why didn't Ashley Banfield say Sean? Who's Sean? I thought his name was Seth.
No one's pointed that out. She just went right with the flow, didn't she?
Am I too loud again? I turned my mic down to like 9.
Let me turn mine down. Maybe it's on my end. Maybe it's not even on your end.
Well, I don't have the like it goes from like
there you
0.
go. Mine was up to like 40. That's why I think it was mine, not yours.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, that's good now. Okay. I'm going to fast forward a little bit through some of this because everybody's seen it. And, I don't know who this lady is. Now it won't even play. What?
All right. But now it is a really large amount of money.
I've known exactly 4 vampires in my life, and you've all been the worst.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. What's Peepers in Heaven, TJ?
His Facebook's doing crazy things.
Live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. And Jackson, we understand reward money is now on the table.
So no one spoke for $3K. All right. But now it is a really large amount of money.
Also, the 3K was never confirmed. It actually, it was never actually set up, followed through. Is that correct, Voices?
They were pledges as far as what I know.
Yeah, but it never actually took to fruition. It never was.
No, they were all pledges. If he was found, they would pony up the money.
Yeah.
You see sounds in here. In today's episode, I'm skeptical of literally
And this guy, oh, wait a minute. I got notes and timestamps. What am I doing? I forgot I did notes and timestamps.
Lore Lodge.
Where did I? Okay.
And you guys, I don't have
back this up.
a mic that I can control. It's the built-in mic for my laptop. And I always check the level and make sure that it never goes above half. So I don't know why I always come in so much louder.
You have a good, strong mic. You got a good mic there.
It's built into my laptop. It's always
well.
like,
You
I
got
don't
a
have
decent one. Mine sucks. But I'm outside, so I'm using the little one. But I love you. I'm gonna fix it so I don't come outside anymore. But I love using that standalone mic now. Oh.
Some things and some information is
okay. This
and that's probably where you and I think there's enough information. I am not completely convinced that the Proudfoots did anything. I'm not completely convinced that Seth Rogers did anything. I don't think there's enough information for us to know yet, and that's probably where you and I differ. But yeah, the Proudfoots have said some things, and some information has come out that makes me kind of scratch my head and say, well, maybe they did do something.
You see this comment? CP said himself he studied the Summer Wells case allegedly. I thought I heard that. I will need to hear him say that with his own words but I thought I did hear that. So that's just hearsay. I heard that too. That's troublesome.
I think I remember you bringing that up about a month or so ago, asking if he said that.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So Dog thought that Sean,
so it's disgusting that he was aware of a child that's missing not far from where he lives. That's disgusting. Why is that so disgusting?
How about if the studying that he did was all the chaos the YouTubers have brought in?
Yeah. Maybe you guys are the reason why he went and looked in the first place.
Yep. Because there was a whole group, one of which he is in court proceedings with as of today.
Mm-hmm.
So do you not think that maybe that's what he studied when he studied the Summer Wells case? I do. I fully believe that is the message he was conveying to us when he said, people will study this case for years to come.
Yeah.
That is what I truly believe.
Yeah. It wasn't for the way they wanted it to be. The way that Betty and Cher and Brittany and all them said, it wasn't the way they tried to spin
Right.
it.
Hey, I got to run out and roll the windows up. Apparently we're getting another afternoon storm rolling in. I'll be right back.
Okay, dear. Okay, so I don't know if I should voice this opinion or not. Oh, I'll let this go for a minute. I gotta
Seth
think about
done
it.
something because there was some kind of custody little thing go on. And in these cases of Summer and Sebastian, these children are not just taken by a stranger when all the stars perfectly align. Summer knows who did what to her, and Sebastian knows very closely who did what to him.
Yeah.
And as far as him being stashed somewhere with a different alias and all that, I'm not buying it. And I'm not buying it because of Katie and how she made that comment. He was already, and then, hand across the throat. We all know what that means. So no, I don't think he's just being stashed somewhere. I don't think Seth has him because, again, people point out, and we forget these things, but Chris's first text to Seth was, okay, don't be mad, but instead of, oh my God, have you heard from Sebastian? Has he called you? Have you seen him? Have you heard from him at all? That should have been the first thing you say to his father. Not, don't be mad, but we can't find Sebastian. Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah. Again, that's kind of weird.
Gotta change.
Number one, I'm not sure the exact wordage, and it doesn't matter. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Gary. Hey, Miss Leverbird. How are you? Hey, Salty. Oh, and again, and
if Sebastian is alive, Yorkers are with him, but Chris's comment, he always shows himself. Yeah, I think something bad definitely happened. Because if he was alive and well, I do think that would have already been figured out before now. But again, you just can't mistake how choked up Katie gets, how Chris makes that cough right when she's doing the hand across the throat. And as like Brittany and Mandy, whoever said it.
What are you? Hey, I'm a seahorse. Are you now a body language expert like BHB? Because the man coughed one time. Okay. And because she was moving her hands when she spoke. How about if I tell you that there's people that can totally debunk what you're saying? She's very emotional. Talk to people that have met her and talk to her about her son. Why don't you do your work?
Our last show was like the only time you freaking heard dude even coughing on the interview. It was right then.
Oh.
He had no other cough.
Oh, and God forbid he had to cough. He had to clear his throat. And it wasn't at a time they think he should. So therefore, that means that he's controlling the conversation and shutting her up. Okay.
But when she started saying, and I drove around, and then she was like,
Exactly,
he was
casual
already, and then she does the hand across the throat, and he was already what?
Oh, I'm going to warn you guys. It's going to get bad. So I'm letting you know, she gets really nasty.
Because what I'm seeing, as someone who's definitely done sign language, is he was already dead.
Yeah, maybe.
And as soon as that hand goes to the throat, Chris is turning red as a tomato too. Red as a cucumber. Get your color straight, Cher.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, but see, that's my point of view. Anything's possible. I just don't know. I just don't know. I think if I had to lean one way or another, I might lean closer towards the Proudfoots. But I don't know. I'm not convinced either way yet. I don't know. What I was going to ask you a question, but now I forgot it. Okay. It'll come back to me.
I want to go.
A child goes missing in the U.S. every 40
Ooh,
seconds.
wait, what is this?
That is
Ooh, let's bring this up for
2,100 a
minute. I haven't
day.
seen this.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel that way. I don't want to feel that way. At first, I didn't feel that way, but then you cannot make, like, what else am I supposed to take from watching Katie do that? She's
watching Katie do what? Because I've watched that interview several times. You ride the train with Griffney and Spanky. And that spirit seeker wannabe psychic lady.
Well, let's hope today's storm doesn't start a fire like it did yesterday.
Oh, how is that going? Still bad?
Oh, it's 2,000 acres and growing.
Oh.
0% contained right now, and it's right above the buffalo pasture.
Oh, no.
Like it's gonna start impacting if they can't get it under control.
Oh my gosh. I hope there's a lot of rain and puts it out.
Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of rain because of the way the weather pattern hits. It ends up being like what happens is there's a cold pocket that'll develop underneath the storm, and then that's what causes all the thunder and lightning. And then the lightning is what started the fire. So yeah, it's pretty. We're getting another one. Like, you'll start hearing thunder anytime. It was already thundering and lightning when I went out to go roll the windows up.
Oh Lord. I hope honestly, I'm praying that it gets. I don't want to see the animal. Oh man. And this is the first day in 3 days that it did not rain from morning till night. My pool actually overflowed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so much rain we've gotten. Yesterday it rained all day. Day before. Today it rained all morning. And then it stopped around lunchtime but yeah, it's crazy.
I was gonna go out and check, and go see what I could see, but I've been seeing pictures on Facebook, so I decided I probably didn't need to go out there. But I went, and in between lives, I went and ran to the store, and I got a case of water, 10 packages of jerky, some granola bars, and a case of Gatorade that I took to the chamber to drop off for the firefighters. And then this evening I will take a couple. I'm working on making shepherd's pie while we're doing this, so then I can take those down so they can feed them when the firemen come in, because they're spending all their time. They come in twice a day to eat, and then they go back out into the field.
Yeah. Wow. Definitely sending prayers. Definitely
worked up and choked up at that exact moment. And the one and only cough he had was, and I always said, was to correct her, get her back on. I mean, that is crystal clear. All right. Let me be frank. That was crystal fucking clear. That's the thing. You need to take Sebastian, my marriage is on the rocks, blah, blah, blah. And Seth caring about their marriage on the rocks. I think not, because you ruined his marriage, you son of a bitch.
How did he ruin their marriage?
Like, he's supposed to care. So he was
How did he ruin their marriage?
Didn't Katie file for divorce and then she met Chris?
Exactly. And if you'd have listened to the friend interview when the friend was on Clues, she didn't divorce Seth because of Chris. She divorced Seth because of Seth. So you're wrong, as usual. That's why I keep saying some things are meant to stay in the walls.
Out to get his child, but this was not in any court documents. This was just agreement between two men. Allegedly, Katie did not want Sebastian going with Seth.
Yeah, it's so damn unfortunate. So damn unfortunate. And these are the kinds of things that matter, though. Like I said, the drama that goes on with Tony and his peen, and the crap that Bullhorn Betty pulls. I mean, that's somehow, some way, that stuff's just got to be separated out. Now, I do think that there is some possibility that Dog the Bounty Hunter could potentially help, just because he'll get the attention. But I think
I don't think we'll see him out there searching. Dude is old as shit.
No.
I think he'll do a couple of photo ops, much like he did with Brian Laundrie. We'll see him getting on a boat, for a few minutes.
Muted.
Okay. It says, yeah, she doesn't know anything, Allie. Ellie only. She doesn't. And there was even incidents when she was in the military where he had caused issues. Just because you did sign language, it doesn't make you an expert interpreter. I don't believe she can do much of it. I don't believe anything this thing says, because according to her, she's did everything, but she don't talk about what she's really done.
Minutes, but is he out there looking? We won't ever see like him out there searching. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
He's just not. He's doing this now to push his book. And if that were me, I'd be called everything under the sun. And I get it. He's this great celebrity everyone loves. Fuck Cher. All right, well, cool. Call me the criminal. Call me all these things. Call my dad, whatever. But that man murdered too. Like, that man isn't a good man either. So don't you dare even try that one. Oh, my emails were crazy. How dare you talk? I don't think the people that did that and emailed me that even knew.
I don't believe that I believe that those are both fruit and we're both in the produce section, but I believe that's apples and oranges, and that's not even in the same family. The only reason that we're in the same category is because we're in the produce section of this crazy market.
Oh yeah, Tony is. In fact, I'm coming back later, and I am coming back this time for sure. And I'm probably going to do a members only chat, but alive, just alive. And we're going to review some of Tony's antics. I got some things to show y'all. And I got a video I've been telling you for weeks about, and I'm going to show you.
Oh, yay.
Dog's history.
Yeah, I figured I'd do a 2-for-1 today.
Now, if your mods aren't members, they may not be able to do their thing.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I don't know for certain sure positive, but you may have to give it a test at the very beginning.
Okay. I will. Thank you, ma'am.
Just trying to help.
You always do, Voices. You really do. You always help me.
I really appreciate that you say that. I really do.
You do. You always help me, though. You do. It's the honest truth. I wouldn't be sharing content if it wasn't for you.
I'm so grateful for you. I really am. I'm glad it helps.
If I have a question, I come to you because you know the ins and outs of this stuff.
For the most part. If not, I'll find the answer for you.
And if there's one out there, she'll find it. Okay, she's going to get really on the Proudfoots. This may upset some of you because I'm not kidding how vulgar she gets.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's funny, though. It is funny. I haven't seen this guy, but I want to go back to this.
TJ, I think that's kind of what I'm thinking is because he is a big celebrity and he probably does some help that way. Credit, like Cher said, promote his book, but I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Huh?
What?
She doesn't think it's necessarily a bad thing that Dog is using this to promote his book.
Well, you know what? She's also a super fan of Cher's. So we already took her voting privileges, the right to tie her own shoes. She's going to be forced to wear Crocs or Velcro shoes from here on out. So whatever, I guess, she thinks Cher's a great person. So to each their own, I suppose.
Hey, Shorty. Oh, and also I know there's like one or two people in chat. If you messaged me or called me, I'm not ignoring you. I did not have a phone. I've got one coming eventually. Walmart doesn't like me either, no more than any other goddamn service that you can order through the mail for. Excuse my language, should have said gosh darn. But yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to. I don't lose anything, but who knows? But I will get to it. But I can check email. I actually caught up on my email. I was impressed.
Wait, spell receipt for me.
What? Did she just ask her to spell receipt for her?
RECEIPT, I before E except after C.
Okay, everybody in chat, I want you to spell it. She don't know how.
E except after C. So REI, I don't know. REICPT?
No, REICE. God damn it. Now she's got it.
Yeah, TJ. TJ says, Bogey Chris told Seth, if you want to find your son, you need to go to a church.
What? Oh,
yeah, that's weird too. That's a very weird statement.
it is a very weird statement. That's much like Robin Lane saying, somebody must carry off a secret mission. Like, what?
A secret mission.
He's always giving you the ick. Didn't he? Because Cher gets to be home for a week. Yay.
I'll share that from the beginning.
I agree with that.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing over in Sumner County. Our Jaxie Pigeon live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. And Jaxie, we understand reward money is now on the table.
What?
That's right, Blake. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells us that a group of investigators find.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. See, here we go. 6 months ago, somebody put up $3,000. It wasn't none of the parents, though.
Sebastian Rogers.
That's my problem.
Jaxie Pigeon.
That's my problem. These fuckers have money, and they don't put up nothing for their son to be found. Why? And that's for Seth, too.
God, you
Fuck
are
that
so
shit.
fucking
And I know they all
stupid.
hate when I ask that question, but it's a very important question. I don't.
Go ahead, voices.
You are so fucking stupid. Have you not seen that Chris and Katie have donated probably close to $3,000 for the blip boards? Have you not listened to the interviews with Chris and Katie, where Katie talked about trying to get her son's photo in gas stations, truck stops, doing on trucks, on magnetic signs? I mean, Cher, your lack of education on this scenario and on this case is astounding.
Very. They refuse to acknowledge that anything Chris and Katie have done because they don't know, because they're not out here getting pats on the back for every little thing they do. They are going about their life and looking for their son without the social media on, following them around or them running and reporting it.
They're also not out here trying to profit off their missing son's disappearance.
And they've made that clear from day one. They don't want one red cent. And you know what? They work hard. They work. They pay bills like everybody else.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
why they got what they got. Just because you live in a nice house doesn't mean you're rich or have money laying around.
Means you're smart with your money and you're
Do
good.
you realize my mortgage payment is not even half of what most people's rents are?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I got a girlfriend paying $3,500 a month for a townhouse. My mortgage payment's a fraction of that, not even half. No way. You don't know what you're talking about.
Give a shit. Like, I already know it's not going to get paid out, but it shows me.
Yes, Nikki. Dog did call on the Ashley Banfield interview. Dog called Sean multiple times to Ashley Banfield, and Banfield did not correct him.
And thank you, voices, because you're the only one to point that out about the host and so-called journalist, lawyer, whatever she wants to be.
Well, my question is, why didn't she correct him? Why didn't she say, "I'm sorry, Sean"? Who's Sean?
She could have did it without anybody even, batting an eye. You know what I mean?
I agree. And my question is, if she's a journalist worth her weight, why didn't she correct that? Why did she allow a guest to call the father of a missing child by the incorrect name?
Yep. Wow, that school bus is late. Why am I not surprised? Hey, Nikki, good to see you.
Something.
Oh,
That
Captain
Chris can go
Ganja, don't I wish.
out looking at new motorcycles and shit, but could he put $3,000 down? Like, that would have made Chris and Katie look so much better if they come up. You know what? We got $5,000. Please, any information, please call.
Actually, they did. They've donated close to $3,000 for the blip billboards between Duchess, Clue, Truth.
And that's just what we know about.
Right. We don't know if they've done blip boards on their own.
They could have donated more as well. The thing is, they're doing things, and it's just no matter what Chris and Katie would do, it's never going to be enough.
It'll never be good enough. It'll never be enough. These YouTubers that aren't doing anything but profiting off the back of this missing child, Cher, Brittany, Justin,
What have they given? What
That's
have
my
they done?
question. What have you done? Have you set up a blip board? Have you
Giving
donated
Betty
blip
doesn't
boards?
count. Giving Betty money doesn't count.
Nope.
Donating for Betty's problems that she caused for herself.
Correct.
To assist in harassing, stalking, and threatening the family of a missing child doesn't count. That just makes you a piece of shit.
Just makes you just as guilty as she is.
Yep. And that is a concern I have. Because Betty's gonna spin this or try to. And there's people in her chat that's gonna believe her. And I'm afraid it's gonna amp things up on Chris and Katie and the Bauer Sox.
Here's the thing. If it does, you do realize that they can get her on third party.
Yeah, but she doesn't care, voices. She really thinks she's above.
Yep, she can keep thinking that until the 10th of October. Let her get even bigger headed. Let her get even more cocky and watch how fast they violate her and lock her ass up.
I hope they do.
You know what? Let her break the law right now while she's still there. Watch. They'll lock her ass up, and I bet she'll sit until the 10th of October.
Allegedly, there's more violations being sought. So I don't know if that's true.
Think about the lady that came up and talked about that she is a vigil auditor. She made some statements. If people weren't taking her serious, why do you think I was just blown away? I was like, oh, she's an amendment, or she's like a First Amendment auditor for vigils. People need to realize that there's a lot that goes into planning these things, and there's a lot of permissions that you have to get, and there's a specific way that you have to act. So, like I said, I would hide and watch because there's more shit coming.
Oh, I think so too. And I don't think Betty's, she can say it's a win, but like I said, it's not. All she did was show, in my opinion, she's been saying how this was all going to go away today. She's been saying that for how long now? Day in and day out, video after video. Nothing went away.
30 days. All those POs are still in place. Mm-hmm. The first 3 are in place. Chris's ex parte is in place.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing she did try to get got dismissed by the judge. This is not a win for Betty. All this does is waste more money because she is trying to find evidence she don't have.
Think about this. Tony had to take off from work to be there at a court today. Where did he say that he normally works? Out here in the States by me. He said North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, Colorado. All the states out here by me. That's all the way across the country. Whole nother time zone and everything. Look at what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
That costs money.
TBI, we have $5,000 for anyone with credible tips. That would have made me happy.
Do you think that they've actually donated to the blip boards? And do you think that those blip boards even make any difference?
No. I don't trust the owner of the blip boards, but that's just me. I know everyone thinks it's a wonderful thing, but
You don't know the owner of all the blip boards, you idiot. You don't even live here. And yes, they are very rural. There's plenty of video out showing barbecues, blip boards.
Oh,
and
we've seen barbecues blip boards. I mean, there were 114, I think, that they have running with that 20,000.
Mm-hmm. So you tell me a blip board where thousands of people are seeing it multiple times a day,
right,
is no good, but a poster that's up for less than 24 hours is better?
For 30 days?
Yeah.
Like if they did a billboard?
My research into Vern Gilbert, and it's very well known out there. Just Google him. Everything pops up. He's a scammer. He's a scammer. He's a scammer. Now, billboards have been put up. Yes, that is a great thing. However, I just left that alone. For me, myself, I didn't like it. I wasn't having no parts of it. But you know what? There were billboards up, at least in summers. Some of the creators went out and drove to them, and they were up. So there's that, But as far as the Vern Gilbert and all of the blipboard stuff, I just stay away from that.
Right.
That's just me.
I don't know what to just make up my mind about that, but part of my point was this, supposedly Chris and Katie have donated to that, but not any kind of reward fund. And supposedly Seth hasn't put any money into that.
Oh my God, you two are just a couple of donate to the pens. That's all these two are, is a couple. This Bama, whoever she is, Bama, she is nothing but a gossiper. Why don't you quote where it was stated? Why don't you find the live? Why don't you have a timestamp? You want to gossip? Why don't you check? Because yes, and why would they donate to a reward fund when law enforcement said, no, don't do that. That causes more headache, more consternation. What are you guys, why are you not questioning the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Seth has raised? What the hell is wrong with you two?
I'm sorry, I had to mute.
The billboards, awesome. But can Chris not go and afford and like go get an actual, like a billboard that's not a blipboard? Could he go get like a big ass billboard? I don't know, somewhere like the Crane World doesn't have like no big ass billboards. They could be putting a nice picture of Sebastian up, like a big ass picture. Chris did donate 1,000 to Peepers being in heaven. What? I didn't know what that means, but
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. What's Peepers in heaven, TJ?
his Facebook's doing crazy things.
Live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. In Jackson, we understand reward money is now on the table.
So no one spoke for 3K, all right? But now it is a really large amount of money. Will people speak? I don't know.
Crazy sounds in here. In today's episode, I'm skeptical of literally everybody involved. I'm Aiden Madison. Welcome back to the War Lodge.
Same. You guys watch this guy?
No.
Hold on.
No.
3K was only pledges, Cher. That money never even made it into its end goal. It was some businesses. And
nothing ever came of it. And there was questions even about some lawyer that allegedly was involved.
Right. Because Sean said, I have to get a trust and the attorney has to do that. And I got to go meet with them. And there is an attorney. But I mean, like, come on, you two. Unbelievable. This is so crazy. So they absolutely don't know. They don't even, like, nonsense put together a spreadsheet. It worked with Kodo to develop a spreadsheet to break down.
Dallas, you can use your tablet.
All of that. Like, and it's out there for everybody to find.
But,
they're
talking,
ignorant. They're ignorant.
Yeah, very. And they're talking, well, it's stupid to waste money on the blipboards. They should just have one. Okay, so you're telling me the one billboard is better than having hundreds of them? How does that make sense?
They have hundreds of boards blipping multiple times a day.
So you tell me how that one single billboard,
right,
that just has his picture on it, that the weather will beat up and everything rather quickly, is better than hundreds showing his face. And being that they are electronic, it does grab people's attention more than just a paper billboard.
Listen, the blip boards, they're in multiple locations and there's different times of the day that they blip.
Yeah.
And they're in high traffic areas from what I've been gathering from the little bit.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. So think about this. So when traffic is at its peak, those blip boards are going to be flashing and there's multiple people in, hundreds of thousands in metropolitan areas, right? Thousands, if not tens of thousands that are going to see those, right? If you have one billboard, everybody would have to drive past that billboard. The potential that it wouldn't be put in a high traffic area and the limitations, these billboards are blipping all day in multiple places in multiple states. It's what she's saying is it's because she didn't think of it herself.
And that's what cracks me up. Tony's little TikTok girls are there braiding Seth's hair in the courtroom. How pathetic is that, dude? Shave that shit off. You're too old and it don't look right.
Well, did you notice? Did you notice? Granny pointed out today. Did you notice not one of them other deputies that were in there, and we saw 4 or 5 of them? You see how clean shaven. You see how close their hair was cut. Oh yeah. Tell me again, he was really a deputy. We're like doing anything more than fucking parking lot.
He wasn't even there a year.
Exactly. He had there's no way for him being fitness. There was no way he would be his size alone. Look at that fucking belly on him.
Yeah, there's that. I seen guards like that in the prisons when my brother was a guard. But I'm talking about, how do I say this? Character-wise. What?
Yep.
Just him. His personality. I don't know. Like I said, I've had multiple family members that have worked in the prison systems, and I know my brother used to call guards like him.
And it's up to 50,000. It doesn't mean that if you walk in there and give them information, it doesn't mean you're getting the full 50,000. It's what the FBI determines your tip to be worth.
It could be as little as 1,000. Or it could be 500. It's what they determine.
Yes, it's up to 50,000, and it's what they determine. Nobody should be counting on the money that Dog pledged, nor the money that Nick the Hat pledged. Nick can't even get out of the fucking park preserve that he lives in because he's court ordered to stay in his state.
Hey, Tammy.
If Dog truly had the money, then why didn't he go make a big deal about having those camera crews film him walking in and putting that money in a bank account?
Pumpkin Queen. I love the name. Cher makes my blood boil. Oh, just wait. It's going to get bad. I'm not kidding you guys. She gets downright gross. What she says about the Proudfoots.
I've watched him. I don't like what he's
When I first
putting
began
out.
compiling information and researching the disappearance of
Yeah,
Sebastian
he's left out a lot of, and there's not a whole ton of facts, but he's left out some pertinent information and twisted things.
Brittany's in the back, Kathy.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, voices. Hey, Kathy, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, voices. Hey, Kathy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I just wanted to say I'm real ashamed of how today went. And
Why? It wasn't a win for them.
Hello, it's the justice process.
You mean because of the people that showed up? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Brett. I was so disappointed that not so much Tony, not Tony.
Rogers. The first interview I watched, which
I
involved
expected Tony. I was really disappointed in Seth. I have to be honest.
Yeah, that at the end of the day, that's
he told you. Sorry.
Go ahead, voices.
No, go. I'm up here all the time. You go.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, that's still the mother of your child. Like, if it wasn't for her, it takes 2 people to make a child, not just one. So at the end of the day, that's the mother of your child.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't shock me. B, he held straight to what he said he was going to do. He has said all along, he and Tony have said all along, she's their sister. She's the best thing for them. They'll stand beside her. I mean, that right there.
I still had that glimmer of hope that Sebastian would come first.
Yeah,
Why?
I was
wrong.
hoping that too.
In everything that Seth has ever showed us, he's never come first. Why would suddenly today that be different?
Yeah.
True.
Let's get back into this because I'm not. I want to get in. She's gonna.
Was done by Nancy Grace over at Crime Online. In broad strokes, the story that they told matched pretty well with what I was able to glean from the news while researching for the timeline.
What? They lied so much on Nancy Grace. They lied so much on Nancy Grace.
How? How did they lie on Nancy Grace? Show us. Show me where they outright lied on Nancy Grace. You said they lied so much. Where? Share? Show us. I mean, their story's been pretty consistent.
What did he post? Hold on, let me look.
And yeah, you know, that's a horrific thing. They're not used to cameras in front of their faces. They're not used to giving interviews about their missing son. The furthest thing they wanted to do was be in front of a camera talking about their missing child instead of celebrating that he's home. You're idiots.
How about being forced to live out every moment of this with people putting pressure on you that have no right to put that kind of pressure on you?
Total strangers invading your life, tearing it apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody told me.
Are you going to talk?
Who is
Share.
Chris Proudfoot?
Share. You're live.
About your mom, her car being parked at like Warsham's and him getting. Okay, so here's the answer. The final answer to this. It's not just an
Okay, this call was so set up and he was so baited. And I still don't know how much of it she actually edited, to be honest with you. I don't trust anything coming from Terry Lynn any more than I would Bullhorn Betty.
Oh, and they broke up again.
Yeah, I see that. Poor thing.
Being Betty's friend is so hard. It's so much work.
She loses them like hotcakes, man. I'm like, whoa, damn. There's another one bites the dust, and another one bites the dust. She's going to be out of friends. And don't worry, it's going to come where Tony and Seth aren't her friends anymore either. But see, they're going to do it by bringing in all these other characters and just slowly cutting her out. Because they know Betty will go crazy.
I believe they have to wait until she's behind bars because Tony's in for 20. He's on the hook for 20K right now.
And I hope that she has to be rebonded out.
Oh, I know.
Chris's order. Yeah. Justice hopefully will be served. Betty, you did not win. All you did was drag it out like you do everything in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Did you say something?
Well, I mean, all it's done is in the end, it's effectively going to cost her more money, as a result, costing the subscribers more money and the people that are enabling her with this crap ass behavior.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess Britt, I didn't mean to sound so harsh I'm flabbergasted by all these people that are like, oh, I'm sad for today. No, you guys, the wheels of justice go slow, right? That's one thing that we all know. And at this point, all that does is give her another 30 days for them to be able to rack up more violations and prove the point that, she's unstable and willing to go as far as she possibly can go because she feels it's all her right.
You still there, Brett?
Oh, no, she hopped down.
Brittany, come back up.
She had to use the ladies' room.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you come back up. No one was snapping at you, Britt.
I think I did. I think I sounded really harsh.
people have driven up to me and personally spoken.
Go ahead.
I think I sounded really harsh, and I didn't mean it like that, and I definitely didn't mean it towards Brittany like that, right?
Yeah, Brittany's
So
sweet. I didn't either. If it come off that way, Britt, I'm sorry too. I'll wait till you come back up and apologize to you. I hope you come back up. I didn't mean it to sound bitchy. I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed because I wanted her to understand the consequences she has, and at first I was pissed. But then as I listened to the judge, I was like, yeah, no, Betty, this is not a win for you. All this is going to
No.
make it harder for you to prove your innocence because you won't shut up.
Yep.
You
And
can't do it even through one live.
all it is it's just delaying her just desserts, and it's going to make it all the more better for her. So, and like I said, I'm struggling today on my own mentally, right? So my tone isn't always the best, and I'm trying to be really cautious of my tone today because I don't want to come across sounding like a total raving bitch today.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Brittany will come back.
She's
I felt
backstage.
bad. Okay.
She's backstage.
Hey,
I
Britt.
didn't take it.
No, I just didn't want you to feel like, somebody was coming at you, because that's not. You okay? Britt?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just gotta move through my house and I can't hold the phone and walk at the same time.
Okay. Well, go ahead
So
and get
I'm
settled,
walking
and then
back and forth.
I get up and
So
prance
that was
because I get
why
tired
I
of
hopped
sitting.
down. But I didn't think
Okay, I
y'all
just
were
want to make
mad
sure
at me.
everything's cool.
Yeah, no, honey, I wanted you to make sure that I realized when I was sitting there thinking about that, I was like, shit, my tone sounded really rough. And I did not mean it that way to you, okay?
No, I just can't walk from point A to point B with carrying the phone.
I got you.
But I'll be back up shortly. I just gotta get
Okay.
to my current spot.
All right. Be safe.
All right.
All right.
And I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
Woo! He got about that mad too when said,
Okay, I'll back that up. This was Web Sluice. And I'm sorry, but by that time, did I appreciate Chris's attitude sometimes? Absolutely not. But by that time, these people have been drugged through the mud.
Well,
have been stalked, threatened, and harassed. And also by their missing son's father is instrumental in all of it. And he had every right to be angry.
How about this? How about everything that we're seeing that Seth has outed out here publicly? Chris and Katie have been dealing with that since the day Chris and Katie connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand, because Seth is probably acting, it seems to me now when I look back and I listen to that, like that's frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it's anger. People, it's the same thing that happens to me. People mistake my tone. When I'm frustrated, people think I'm angry and pissed off. No, I'm just frustrated.
And he has every right to feel that way after everything that's been going on.
Yes.
It's by that point.
We didn't know Seth that well at that point, right?
Oh, we know what he'd started putting out though. And they still would not go at him. But you'll listen. Here, we'll play it. No. Play.
This conversation, Seth, you call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone. I'll do you one better. And I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
Woo! He got about that mad too when said, that his parents were hiding Sebastian for him. Flip the fuck out.
No. You need to watch the whole thing and understand the context. I don't think you're capable of it, though. I don't think you're capable of understanding what these people have been put through.
Chris always has an answer. Aren't those narcissists just wonderful? Always got an answer to every damn thing.
How is it that you guys can how is it you find Chris to be a narcissist when you're looking at one with Seth? Like, textbook with Seth. Again, I hear frustration from a current husband that's really fucking tired of dealing with an ex-husband's fuck shit. That is what I hear.
You're right, Tammy. Victims have rights, and they have every right to protect themselves using their rights.
Absolutely. And that is something, think about it. Chris and Katie are veterans. They're the people that fought for people like Seth, Betty, and Tony to act the fucking way they act and do the things they do. Just gross.
Oh, she hasn't said nothing yet. It's coming.
I don't even know who he was. He says he don't trust nobody.
Monday, the 25th of February, 2024, with his mother Katie and some relatives, came home, did his chores, and went to bed. The next morning, when Katie went to wake him up for school around 6 a.m., she found that he was not in his bed. And then she found that he also wasn't anywhere else in the house, at which point she called her husband, Chris, who was working a construction gig in Memphis. The first search was organized that day, but that effort and those which followed failed to find any meaningful trace of Sebastian or to indicate where he may have gone. But after finishing the interview, even though it matched up with what I had been seeing, I just got the sense that something was off. Though at the time, I basically just chalked it up to their demeanor and the exhaustion that likely was influencing it. But then in the week that followed our first video on Sebastian's case, I went through a lot of interviews. I tracked down as many as I could find and did my best to analyze them and determine how it was that all these pieces of the story fit together. And they just didn't. I found numerous instances of Chris Proudfoot telling slightly different stories, some of which can only really be described as outright lies. And this in turn led to even more digging. I don't think that I possess the words to adequately describe the rabbit hole that I have been in since I was asked to take a look at this case a couple of weeks ago. It just goes so far beyond anything I would have expected, and I feel like every time I run into an answer, there's just a whole bunch more questions resulting from it. And on top of the already just confusing nature of this disappearance and this state of affairs.
Wait a minute. How come you haven't dissected any assess interviews or panel hopping or assess statements? How come you've not dissected how many times he's changed it up?
Well, and who asked him? That's my question. Who asked you to get involved and give your expert analysis? And what are your qualifications, sir? May I ask? What are your qualifications? How many years of school? How many years of training, on the job experience? What qualifications do you have to analyze this? Other than you look like you're from the generation where you got a participation fucking trophy and your parents told you could be anything you want to be, son, rather than letting you know that you're a little suck ass that sits at home behind a computer screen while profiting off of exploiting missing and vulnerable adults. Sorry, that's my soapbox. I'll get the fuck off now.
Okay, sorry. Hey, Yvonne. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
The fact of the matter is, a ton of what I guess could be described as evidence in this case, a ton of the hints as to what may be going on, are basically just he said, she said, and very difficult to corroborate. And to give you an idea of the scope of what we're dealing with here, by the time I had finished putting together everything I needed to write this script, I had listened to about 18 hours of interviews and had written about 150 pages of notes. And this presented another problem as I reached the let's write the script.
You wrote 150 pages of notes for this, but yet you didn't, and you watched 18 hours of videos. I don't think there's 18 hours of videos that Chris and Katie did in total. So what were you watching? Clearly not what has been going on, because you have not watched anyone else's.
Telling you, participation trophy era.
Yeah. Okay, what's that say?
I can't read it either. The font
I'm
is
from
funky and I
Bullhorn
can't,
arrested today? No,
No.
it got extended. She got a continuance to October 10th. The one thing they did ask to be dismissed was Chris's order, which hasn't even been heard yet. That was dismissed. So it was not a win for Betty.
At around 10 p.m. on Friday, July 19th. I had absolutely no idea how to put this into a coherent essay. I mean, how do you tell a story when the people involved in it can't even keep their own accounts straight?
Oh, that's so true.
But she's still facing criminal charges for the violations. She's still facing the civil with Chris. That can also turn into violations. And rumor has it there's more violations coming. So I guess, we'll see. Do I believe there is? Yeah, I bet he's not going to shut up.
There's no church in between there's a church in between the two RV parks. Oh, just Jen. Okay, I'll check that after.
So
I'll check it.
I considered two options, such as going through the interviews in chronological order, but with 150 pages of notes and interview transcripts, well, it would have been a long video. And while we have made some long videos, this would have made our 2.5-hour long documentary on the Donner Party look like a vine. So I decided that the best way to organize this for both my own sanity and for the clarity as it's being given to the audience was to break this up into sort of the things that bugged me about watching the Proudfoot family's interviews. And initially I was going to try and look at everybody all at once, but as I was going, I realized that this specifically needed attention. There was just something off about Chris and Katie Proudfoot's demeanor during a lot of these interviews. And then there were all of these weird...
It couldn't be that her son is missing.
Oh my God.
And she's going through one of the worst times of her life. She's not used to being in front of cameras, being asked questions about her missing child. I mean, it could be none of that, right?
Maybe she's trying to put up a strong front.
Oh. Well, she did
furthermore,
not...
Here's the ironic part, Kathy. He's saying their story has changed multiple times. Although, who did we hear said, nope, no internet access. And then, well, he had the internet when I was there. And then, oh, he had unfettered internet access and could play with whomever he wanted to, whenever he wanted to, however he wanted to.
Because he was home all night long. The twice a month I did have him because I was working overnight shift.
Right. How is that not a change?
According to them, all they cared about was seeing how much they could. And the little things that have changed with Chris and Katie was he always made it clear. He couldn't answer something without, because of law enforcement. Once law enforcement would tell him he could, then he would say what he was able to say.
How about he comes into every interview explaining there are some things I cannot talk about?
Mm-hmm.
He made no bones about saying that.
No, not at all.
Oh, God.
I get it.
Inconsistencies within their stories and evaded questions. And at the end of the day, there were just several outright lies that they told. And while I'm certainly not done going through everything there is to research about this case.
What outright lies? You people keep saying there's these outright lies, but you don't show us the outright lies. Why do these people think they're, like Betty? Because they say it makes it so? Show us the outright lies. Really, I show me. Yeah.
There is one thing that
I'm willing to say. It's a lie.
Huh?
Because I said it was a lie, it's a lie.
Yeah. That's what Betty does. So, because I say it makes it factual. No, it doesn't.
Absolute certainty. And that is that Chris Proudfoot's version of this story is extremely questionable. And another thing that I can say with absolute certainty is that one of the reasons you get...
Why is it questionable? He wasn't there. He was 3.5 hours away. He's got a confirmed alibi, by the way.
How can he know with absolute certainty? He's not law enforcement.
Yeah. Because he watched 18 hours of videos of interviews. But I don't think there's 18 hours of interviews of Chris and Katie.
You get so many spam calls and texts is because big companies just cannot keep a handle on your data. So what can you do to protect yourself?
Well, here we go.
The little brother is on.
Find your perfect escape.
All right, so he's doing a fucking... Interesting. I'm gonna have to listen to that on my own and fast forward to what he thinks about.
Why would you start that and just cut it off? You've done that with everything tonight. Is this what she does? She gets you watching it, and then she cuts it off and then starts running her mouth and doesn't go back. You butcher people's content. Please don't ever use mine.
Oh, Sean Rogers. That got me off track here a little bit. So at first, Dog thought that Sean Rogers did something because of the custody deal, but Sean Rogers, aka Seth Rogers, was told he was getting his son. But again, this was just a deal between two men that, in my opinion, look like they're having a pissing contest at every opportunity they're given. It's weird to me. Like, I don't know if all three of them are in cahoots on something. Let's just not forget as well that both houses that Sebastian was broken up to, Seth versus Chris Proudfoot's home, both CPS calls. So, I mean, I have to say, and I know people don't like it, but everybody has failed this kid. Now, Katie talks very nicely about Seth. He's a very present father.
No. Everybody hasn't failed this child. It is looking like one parent failed him from a very young age. But that's opinion based. I do believe he loves his son. He is his father after all. But, And Kenna, you really can't do that. Anybody can use anybody's stuff. If you strike out of anger like that, or because somebody didn't give credit, that's abuse of the strike system, and you can lose your channel. So no, you don't want to just strike somebody because they didn't. You don't have to even give credit when you use content, as long as you follow fair use.
But this is Voices Behind the Wall, and her link will be in the description. I don't want her I mean, she just butchered these people's content tonight. But just wait, she's starting to amp it up now. I probably should have just fast forwarded to this.
Father will always show up for what Sebastian does.
My audience left, they're not interested.
More like Team Seth, right? Okay, well, here's Katie saying nice stuff about Seth, that he's a very present father. He doesn't miss anything. He does everything he can for Sebastian. Okay, well, that's big to me. But still, there's just something wrong here. And I know a lot of people are reading my emails about Seth not being on camera at work. I don't know how anyone would possibly know that but the law. And if that is not true, the law is not going to tell us that until like this is said and done. So that would not go to no one. Like, TBI is not saying, hey, guess what, Chris Proudfoot, Seth wasn't seen on cameras at work for 2 to 3 hours. What'd you know about that? No. They're going to keep that close. So I don't know where that even comes from. You know what I mean? But I don't see that. No.
Again, Cher, I've been kind of out of the loop on some of this, but what do you think? Do you think that Katie did something to Sebastian and Chris helped cover it up? Or do you think Chris did something?
I think Chris did something, and I think Chris always did some things, and I think Katie just has to sit there on the sideline and say nothing, or she's getting it too. I mean, she maybe already does get it too and has gotten it too. Just one of those types of things, very much like a Candace Bly. All right, I'm going to let my kids get whooped on and this and that. I mean, even when Chris is talking about, and you can see his eyes, like he just loves it all, and I whacked him. Like,
that is not, wow. That, you're sick. That is not how that question or that statement was made. He wasn't there all fiery eyes saying, I whacked him. Katie's not abused. Katie's a very strong woman. That's the problem, standing up for herself.
She's such a trash bag.
You're really a piece of shit. All that was a lie. He didn't say, I whacked him, and wasn't all into it. Why don't you show the interview? Because it'll make you look stupid.
Oh my God, she's such a bitch.
Oh, just wait. And Chris wasn't even home.
Katie is stone cold. So I think, because a lot of people think maybe Katie did something and Chris is helping her. There ain't no fucking way Chris would help her. So I think Chris did something and Katie's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to help you. And then good. Like, now, like, I'm, let's Bonnie and Clyde this, whatever. Now I'm not going to lose my house and all this money, whatever.
What? Let's Bonnie and Clyde this. I'm not going to lose my house and all this money. All what money? They work and pay their bills. They have credit, unlike you.
Why does this sound like Mark and Cher's love story? Like, why
she
does
didn't
this
walk
sound
away
like
from her child for a man?
That's like, she is so projecting. She is putting how she handled things and putting that on Katie because she doesn't know how to think any differently than her little criminal mind. She has one thought process, the criminal element.
This woman has the nerve. The nerve. She knows nothing about these people. Nothing. She don't even know the facts of the case. Remember now, she's the one that sent Don Wells, the father of a missing child, inappropriate photos to try to get him to confess. If I missed anybody coming in, I'll see you in chat and I'll get you. Hey, Sapient. But welcome to everybody coming in.
But I think that I just think that Chris was always abusing Sebastian, in my opinion. And I think
where is there any evidence of that, ma'am? Because ask Seth why the cops were at his house the last weekend before Sebastian left. Bet you won't.
Had to sit by and watch that because she allowed that instead of do something about it. And yeah, I think that Chris was home. I think Chris was already home when they got home from, all of the colossal popcorns in the roadhouse and all that. I do think that somebody was already in that house.
Oh my God, you're so dumb. Don't you think that the forensics or the investigation that transpired at 10, 15 minutes after the 911 call was made, when officers arrived on scene and started their investigation, don't you think that they would have found some indicator of that? If you fucking Miss Brain Trust are figuring this and you have, I don't know, gotten caught for your bullshit that you've done, maybe you shouldn't be the criminal thinker in this group.
Chris was not there when law enforcement got there. They would have made it clear he was there. He did not arrive home till many hours later. It's been confirmed by the real PIs, the licensed ones that were working for free and wanted to do things the right way. They confirmed where he was. They had no problem confirming where he was. Seth is also aware where Chris was.
How about the actual law enforcement knows?
If they couldn't have confirmed Chris's alibi voices, he would have been named a suspect.
I know, Hartley. And Kathy, you're so right. I mean, Hartley, can you please do like a rat or, I don't know, not a skunk, because we like skunks now, but I don't know, what kind of a crazy look. Can you do like a worm, like an earthworm?
Oh, that would be cool. The kind that burr into your head.
Oh, you know what? No, a bucket of crabs. That's what it needs to be. A bucket of crabs. All like her, Justin. I totally give you credit to run with this idea. How's that? Please, Hartley, we need some new content out here. God,
yeah.
I love Hartley. I don't know. Hartley's been my favorite since I learned how to do videos, because Hartley's really one of the only clip channels that follows true fair use. So, I adore Hartley. Just FYI.
I watch Hartley too.
And I think that the phone call was just an alibi phone call.
One of the, like I said,
an alibi phone call. What if, just what if, that was their norm, because he did work out of town so much that they spent a lot of time on the phone. Just what if? What then? That's why I say some things are meant to stay in the wall.
Said my mind's still not completely made up, but one of the things that is a red flag for me too is, in my opinion, especially in that very first interview where she was doing it with a church friend, local newscaster somewhere, Katie looks extremely terrified.
That's what I kind of feel too. Yeah.
I've always felt like he seemed too calm under the circumstance. I mean, he seemed to.
That's not the word I'd use. That woman was totally distraught, was devastated. Her son is missing. Who the hell are you people to tell her how she should look and how she should feel.
A little rattled, but he seemed calmer and she looks terrified. That's always kind of been a red flag for me too. Like I said, I'm all over the place on this. I look at this kind of like I'm a juror, and I don't know. I'm just looking. I just want some evidence.
Oh wait, there's some worse things she's going to say about Katie.
Bitch, you're not entitled to evidence. Who the fuck are you? You're a gossiping old fucking handwriting.
I don't even know she is.
Sorry. Dude, I am so sorry, Kathy. This is so dumb. I just totally allowed them to flip my switch today. And I'm just gonna, like, this is so stupid. Who the fuck does these two pens feel like they... I hope you're next getting the fucking shut the fuck up orders.
Oh, wait till you hear what she says next. Coming up here in a minute. That's why I wanted to read it.
But I guess, you know, I'm living in my unicorn and fantasy fairy world that we all know I love so much.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Brown Girl. Some CPS calls could have been on Sebastian, and I think CP guilted KP about it. No, come on, no. No, I don't even want to go there. Let's not do that. Let's not put that on Sebastian, because I'm not going to listen to some asshole like fucking Chris Proudfoot and what he says about what Sebastian's on. Fuck him. Because even if all those things are true, you know, about... No, I just can't. Well, the fault goes back to Chris Proudfoot anyway, and Katie for allowing not once, but at least twice for that poor boy to get harmed sexually under their roof and on their watch.
You fucking idiot.
So let's not put that on Sebastian.
You fucking idiot. Nobody allowed anything to happen. This shows what you really are. This really does. Wow. You are disgusting to even say that a parent would sit by and allow something like that. Katie did everything she could.
And even if there was ever proof something like that was true, I'm sorry. I put the blame on the freaking adults, not him. So don't do that.
It's not the adult's fault. The parent cannot, sadly, we cannot protect our kids 24/7, even though we think we do. And sadly, things happen.
That over here. No. Chris going around calling a poor 15-year-old missing boy a fucking pedophile online? That tells me that kid's not ever going to turn back up, at least alive. Those two have done nothing but make this poor boy a joke to them. Oh, he didn't like being dirty, but here, let me put this framed picture of him with chocolate milk on his face because he'd love that. And again,
this bitch. Who the fuck does she think she is? I have never heard that said. Shame on you.
Oh yeah, Betty said it. Yeah.
Wait, just because Betty said it doesn't make it true.
I know, but I mean that's the sick shit. This is why I wanted to show this. When I seen this last night, I was gonna go live at 1:00 in the morning. I was livid that she would say this stuff. You call yourself a human being. I pray you never have to go through what they are, because I don't wish that on anybody.
I can't even.
Hey, Blank Slate, I told you she gets nasty. And I'm sorry. Hey, Cheryl, I'm showing this because I want people to see. The people that don't believe the Proudfoots are being harassed and stalked and even threatened on a daily basis need to hear this stuff, because she's part of that chaos.
Absolutely. She's just another offshoot, off sector, just one street over. There are so many people that are out here firing shots at Chris and Katie because of the narrative that Seth and his merry band of criminals have put out here. And it is wrong. These people don't deserve this. Not at all. And everybody should be icing Seth out, quite frankly. Anybody that plays into him or entertains him, that shows your character.
Oh, anyway, she's doing homework. Hey, Scooter. I hope Sebastian's family never hears that. I do too. I do too. They don't watch me, so I'm sure. I mean, I'm just a tiny speck. All the people coming in, please don't forget to hit that like button for me. Hey, bad
I can't guarantee that, Kathy, because they're very aware of all of this stuff. And they may have already heard it, or they may come across this, but this is so wrong. So wrong.
I'm telling you, I was so livid last night. I was going to come live at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'll be yelling. I'll wake everybody up. And I didn't know if anybody would be up.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of us that were awake. We were all out here rumbling around on these streets.
Oh shoot! So. See, I was up. I was up till. I think I finally laid down at like 3:30. Only because I couldn't find nothing to watch. But not tonight. Tonight I'm going to do the Tony thing finally.
Why?
Ooh.
Please, Lord, help me for the life of me. Like, I understand it to a point. Okay, I do. Of course, it's true crime. I get wanting to know all about these kinds of things. But again, now, one thing I used to ask Dawn, does anything of your past and what you've confessed to doing to your sisters and all of that, does that have anything to do with why your daughter is missing? Well, no. Okay, well, then that's back burner. Well, he did have a problem answering that. So unfortunately, in that case, it might have something to do with why she's missing, right? But here in this case, I'm not going to just listen to a Chris Proudfoot call a 15-year-old a pedo.
That's a lie. I've never heard.
This is slander. If Chris
hears I've never heard Chris say that about Sebastian or any child. That's a lie.
That is flat out slander.
Yep.
You sick fuck. And put that on him.
That's true.
So everything they've done, making fun of his dancing, making fun of him not wanting to be dirty. He's got behavioral problems. And, oh yeah, I spanked him with a belt and all of these things. Like, all of these things are just not anything I'd say if I had a missing kid. That's embarrassing them. And again, you give a written statement for EquiSearch to read on the 6-month part and thank everybody. Instead of go and make a statement.
Okay, Helen.
In case
for coming in, it was good to see you.
Sebastian can hear you or see you maybe. So again, what do they know? Just like the Wells never went out and searched, and I know this is true. They didn't go search because they already know their answers. Seth doesn't have the same answers quite clearly that Katie and Chris seem to have. So he's out there looking. He's out there doing everything he can to keep his kid.
No, he's not. No, he's not. All those months he told people he was searching when he wasn't. He's not doing it. Other people are doing it. He's just making money.
Kid alive, including making character shirts. Sorry, that is a logo. I hate those shirts. But Chris and Katie seem as though, much like the Wells, that they don't need to be out.
They are nothing alike. Their cases are not alike. One is a very small child. One is a teenage boy. Big difference in age. Big difference in everything. Also, you have no idea what Chris and Katie are doing because you refuse to see or acknowledge anything. And they also don't need your pats on the back. Because at the end of the day, what they're doing is none of your business.
looking or breaking a sweat at all over their missing kid that's going on 7 months now. So what do they know? What do they know that we don't? I'll be honest, I almost wondered, did Seth and Chris, and I've said it before, would Chris and Seth do something behind Katie's back? Because again, a lot of those times it's, and like Bam said earlier, so much distractions in this case. And that's another thing that deters me. Everyone the other day, where's Mark? Where's Mr. Cher? Well, when everything's just, you know, all about Bullhorn Betty or let's take each other down, whatever. That's when we both get discouraged.
First it was Chris and Katie. Now it's Chris and Seth.
And we just, it's like, you know, no. That's when we tune out. Hey, no, yeah, like on our Facebook. Wow.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, there's some things that I don't like, some of the things that Chris and Katie have said about Sebastian, but I also don't like some of the things that Seth has said. Like, and I remember telling you this really early on, Cher, really early on, right, that I think
she is really ignorant. I don't know if you experienced detectives have stated how similar cases are. To be fair, yeah, well, one's a small child, one's a teenage boy that, by all appearances, ran away. I don't know. Bad actors. Hey, B. Tim. What he did today, yeah, I'm blown away by that. Well, not blown away. I left a sliver of hope thinking that for once Sebastian would come first. And couldn't have been more wrong. I don't know if you've heard any of this, B10, but this thing here in the wall sure has had a lot of nasty things to say.
They're all horrible people, in my opinion. And you know, it's just as possible that you're right, that, I mean, the two men could have cooked something up, and maybe that's why everything.
Well, because Katie wouldn't want to just hand her over. We know how this goes, the whole thing. And I honestly can't see Chris wanting to hand Sebastian over either. So either Katie and Chris are hiding him out somewhere, whatever, or Seth and Chris worked against Katie on something. I don't know, because the way them two communicate is sometimes coded, even online. So I don't know what to make of it.
The way they communicate is coded.
She just insinuated that Seth and Chris did something to Sebastian, and that Katie was in on it.
Yeah. First it was Chris and Katie. Chris did it. Katie just is helping them. Yeah. Now it's Chris and Seth, and Katie's just in on it again. Yeah. And they communicate online coded.
How about maybe, Cher, if you want to do this, why don't you go offline and have this is the type of conversation that you have with your circle of friends. You don't fire up a live stream and do this.
Hey, Hensley.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Now you see why I got so mad last night when I listened to this?
Oh, girl, I'm right there with you. Like I was so mad. I just got up and walked away for a minute. This is horrible.
And that's why I was gonna fire up a live at 1 o'clock in the freaking morning. I was livid.
Between these two men, or at the same time, like, well, why does a kid go missing? Like, if Summer was found, I believe there would be a lot of people in trouble. So I don't think we're gonna find her. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be a lot of people in trouble. She's found.
Lot.
And then
how is there gonna be a lot of people? My dog is actually barking out the front window. That's how loud he is. Oh.
Like, so what's up with Sebastian? Yeah, he needs medications and stuff, but the medications weren't life or death. So it's very possible he's stashed somewhere. But, you know.
But it's getting to the point, how would they bring him back, though? That's, you know, it's, again, anything's possible. In my mind, anything's possible. But I look at that scenario and I think, with everything that's happened, how could it be possible that they've got some kind of plan to all of a sudden make this kid reappear? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe they weren't going to make him reappear.
Oh, maybe.
Because what does Sebastian know? Who else? How could he get in trouble?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they didn't
know.
want
That's
him
what I
going to
mean.
Dad's because he would talk and say something. Apparently, he opened up to Seth.
Muted.
They had no problem with him going to Dad's. As a matter of fact, they were very, very lenient with visitation and Seth. It was Seth's choice most of the time not to get him, if you want the truth. Okay, come on now.
Mom quite a bit, so maybe they were afraid of what would come then. So no way is he going to Seth, because if that happens, we're in a load of shit. So to hell with that happening, right? Like, I'm all over the place with this case, but I'm still on the fence with Seth. I'm sorry. He's not cleared either. No one is cleared. So he's back burner again. Chris Proudfoot's number one suspect to me, and then Katie, and then Seth. But for me, the Seth situation.
So the number one suspect for you is the one person that has a confirmed alibi.
Yeah. Yeah. She sounds real smart, don't she?
Yeah. Maybe working in that weed store or something. Playing on your brain or something. I don't know, but that's some good shit. Pass it over.
Is like, I don't understand needing a Tony Mathis.
No.
Who's no better than a Tim Mullen, by the way. And I'll tell you right now, the law did not put Tim Mullen on the case. They instead said that, the Wells were offered, whatever, and they just did their own thing. I'll promise you a Tony Mathis was not given by the department to help them be a media management person, because he's just an idiot. So what kind of person needs a Tony Mathis and a Tim Mullen? Who needs somebody like that?
Yeah, that's just crazy to me.
Seth.
Right? Because we got Tim Mullen, TM, by the way, who goes around and thinks it's funny and makes Don do shit that he thinks is funny, and he helps and thinks that the distractions are funny. Put a toothpick in your mouth, undig bones, like, Tim Mullen just thinks everything's a fucking joke. So
was you upset because you got booted out, Cher? And Tim was talking to them and getting info and you weren't? Remember, you were going to get them to confess. Remember? Hey, Kimberly. And you didn't get them to confess, did you?
He's very complicit. The Tony Mathis, TM, by the way, just like Tim Mullen, same thing. But Tony Mathis has a rap sheet of like 25 freaking lawsuits on him or something like that. Why do you need, I don't even care, have a Bullhorn Betty on your side, whatever. Like, at this point, that makes more sense to me than him needing a Tony Mathis, another Sandman. Why is he a part of this? Why does, and then he lies. Seth did sign contracts, okay, with him, and then he wants to lie and say, no, he didn't have Seth sign. I think that's fuckery. And you ask Seth certain questions, and then he disappears, and up pops Tony Mathis. Why? If you are so innocent and you're just looking for your son, and you're an innocent man just looking for your son, you don't fucking need a Tony Mathis. And if you need a media manager, the law people or the law will help you get set up with one. But there's also attorneys that work, and I can find you one, Seth. I did it for Dawn, but the other Tim Mullen said, oh, he doesn't need that. A whole team of attorneys willing to do it pro bono because of the name they would make for themselves, quite honestly, is what we spoke about. So, and that was in Summer Wells' case, whose name was not as big as Sebastian Wells, as clear.
I don't believe any attorney would have did anything pro bono. I'm sorry, I just don't. But, you're such a wealth of misinformation.
Well, maybe. I mean,
not to do civil suits.
Oh. No, I don't believe that either.
They're expensive. They cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
They may help with like protection order or a restraining order or something, but they're not going to go further than that because there's so many missing people every day. How many missing children? I don't know. Sadly, I wish there would. I wish attorneys would have stepped up to help them. I wish somebody would, maybe he could have kept them off YouTube and being such a shit show, but I can't change that now. And Chris and Katie were determined not to let this turn into a shit show and to keep it about Sebastian.
Oh, Chris and Katie knew. They knew coming in, right? They knew coming in that, but they thought that the benefit outweighed the risk and the problems. And it also tells me, again, I still go back to when Chris talked to us on Queen's panel that night. And he said, people are going to study this case for years to come. I believe he probably did his research to see like the laundry stuff, the Petito stuff, the Summerwell stuff, right? And see who the characters were. I believe he knows what his rights are. Somebody that fights for those rights, that signs their ass on that dotted line, they're going to know what the rights are. I just don't understand why people don't get this. Only because a family hadn't had the ability to do this before.
Oh my God, Betty posted a picture. Let me show you guys real quick.
What?
This is so... Seth, this even makes you look worse, dude. Oops. I just booted my screen off. Oh my Lord. Betty. Let me show you something real quick.
Didn't I get a great screen grab last night of her?
Yes.
I'm trying to get that picture to pull up so I can show you again.
Let me show you. I told you it wouldn't be long till she started posting.
That's the one I got of her.
Betty doesn't think she did anything wrong. Betty thinks that this was a win for her because that's how twisted her mind is. Let me share screen. Go ahead, voices. Oh, hey, Britt.
Hey,
Britt.
Sorry I'm late. I was trying
No,
to get all
honey.
situated.
You're fine. I appreciate you coming up whenever you find the time to.
And I had to yeet myself before I came up because I found myself screaming at Cher. So I was like, I better yeet myself.
Look at this picture.
Oh,
look at this.
My God.
That's a 50 gal. Well, that's not quite a 12. 25.
How hard Betty fights for these victims and she doesn't back down to bullies. The coffee club should be proud. This was Betty's post or somebody posting it for Betty. For everyone that's been asking about Bullhorn Betty, she's always in good hands with us. Tony Mathis posted this. Seth is also well. He looked great in his suit today and delivered an incredible interview with Nashville WKRN News 2. We have a great attorney. What do you mean we? And the law is on our side. I hope all of you understand how hard Betty fights for these victims and she doesn't back down to bullies. The coffee club should be proud. And that's what Tony posted.
Okay, that hat is not big enough for his head. I'm sorry. That hat is not big enough for his head. Do you see how tiny it makes his head look? That is not how a cowboy hat is designed to be.
It looks awful.
Oh my God, that is not a 25-gallon cowboy hat. That is not.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's like a 5-gallon fucking cowboy hat. What the fuck?
That's 2 sizes too small.
You're exactly right, Britt. That is 2 sizes too small. Your head is not supposed to look like that in a cowboy hat.
But look at that suit. He looks like... I'll shut up.
Is he headed to a funeral? And look, his fucking, like, that's straight off the rack. I bet you the tags are still on that sumbitch. It isn't even hemmed. Look, his fingers barely poke out the bottom of it.
That's messed up. I'm sorry, but that's messed up.
It's a 5-gallon hat. Look at the sleeves, right? His little fat piggy's barely poking out of them.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Do we think Betty bought the suit for him?
No.
I think Tony put it on his expense card.
Betty don't have that kind of money.
In my opinion. No, that's probably what Cash Apps and PayPals went to. It's probably GoFundMe money, in my opinion.
But I do believe they're paying Betty. I really do.
You do? Oh, well, I mean, hey, paying for an attorney goes from that, right?
Mm-hmm. She slipped up when she made a post to SF about the Layla Santinello case, and she was referring to Jennifer Santinello as her client. Okay, let's pick this up. We're almost done here.
In the pot and wanting it that way and keeping it that way, like Tim Mullen. So the Tony Mathis really just makes Seth look bad.
Yeah, it makes him look sus.
It makes him look suspicious. I don't understand.
Which was my point in the very beginning, right? Tony Mathis, Bullhorn Betty, this Nick kid, and like I said, maybe even
You noticed that Sebastian's favorite color is green. And was that a green or a green blue she had on? But nobody else did. Just saying.
I'm not quite sure about that yet, but they're just distractions and they're just muddying the waters. And I don't feel that they're helping. Somebody said in the chat, I forget who it was, I apologize, but that he's emotional support for Seth at this point. That's fine. But Tony needs to stop going on, he just needs to pull back and so that he can be supportive. And I think you're right. Like a real, absolutely legitimate attorney might be what Seth needs. And it might be even what the Proudfoots need, right? Instead of all this.
Well, their attorney's probably just telling them, shut the fuck up.
They have an attorney. I don't think this is going to stop at just protection orders. In my opinion, I think Betty has met her match. I think this family is going to take it as wherever they need to. But that's just my opinion.
I agree with that opinion.
I think she's met her match and she's going to realize that. And Betty, you can post what you want. You can say what you want. It wasn't a win today. Were people deflated because you didn't go to jail? Yeah, because of your horrible behavior. That's sad that there's that many people want to see you go to jail. That's really, but no, boo, you didn't win today. Not at all.
Which is probably why they shut the
A continuance is not a win.
Fuck up now. But if they had any real attorney, they wouldn't have done half the shit that they did online, because already he got caught in lies. He wore a short sleeve shirt with bite marks on his arm in perfect area for a headlock.
They were not bite marks. They were not bite marks. They were not perfect as if they were in a headlock. Those scratches didn't happen until 7-8 days later, and it was because of the little dogs. Yeah, dumbass.
He's so dumb.
She doesn't fact check anything, does she? Oh, that's right.
Nope.
She listens to Grifney. Them and their power panels. And Spanky. Good resources.
But yeah, no, I just don't get it. Like, if you love Bullhorn so much and you're crying over her, she went to jail for a few hours, like have her be your media management. Why is there a Tony Mathis?
Somebody's asking, is Tony that bad, Holly? Yes. I don't know if he's that bad or not, but everybody's wondering if he is. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Everything I've learned about him, I do not like, especially in the...
Okay, lady, you keep saying, I don't know, but then you have all these opinions and all this stuff you call facts, but then you say, I don't know. It can't be both. If you're aware of Tony and the stuff he's done, then you turn around and say, she's trying to ride the fence.
This is so wild. She wants to throw the gossip out there, but then she doesn't want to have to when somebody gives her a pushback. Well, I don't know.
Exactly. She can't stand on it.
Kathy, where did you find the hole in the wall? Where did she come from?
Forever. She's been around forever.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, Summer Wells.
She was she had a channel long even before.
Yeah, I mean that's when I found. That's how I discovered her.
So when I very first came on YouTube and moved over to doing like going on panels and stuff, she used to hang out on another tiny little channel that I went on. So Cher hung out with that other person. That creator is no longer even on this platform, as far as I know.
Oh, okay. I literally was like, where did she come from?
She did Watts. She did stuff in the Watts case. Like, she's been around for a long time.
Criminology. Yeah, that's how I found her, was all the crap she was doing with the Wells, trying to get them to confess and sending Dawn naked pictures, inappropriate pictures, so he could confess to her.
Harris case, like, don't let it fool you, but a lot of shit went down with some people and they were like, get out of here. They want nothing to do with that man now. So then he hops right on over to the Sebastian's case. Just like Tim Mullen trying to get on instrument, and Brandy said hell to the no and tried it. You know what I'm saying? So
I was thinking about her about these things, right? My mind's not made up anywhere. But do we know if law enforcement told her to shut up? And
no idea. I didn't follow it too closely. I watched a lot of it, but I don't think so. I don't know. I know she has other kids, so I do remember watching her on a live once while they were somewhere near her.
Yeah, you remember? Never mind.
For what they thought would be remains of her son, and it was just heartbreaking as she's sitting there on her live. And
yeah, you remember how Betty came out with that information, and yeah, you remember how she came out with the fake. Came out with info that she shouldn't have. And
I do, because I happened to have been sitting on a panel with Brandy Neal at the time.
I've showed that. Yeah, you were up there, weren't you? Yeah.
Yes, I was, because I
when that happened,
to get off and probably colored victims advocate. Yes, ma'am.
That was awful. And then she made hey Patricia, she made a video, or she got up and she thanked Betty for the crap she caused for what she did, and I don't mean thanked her in a nice way.
No.
And Betty should have, Brandy handled that better than I would have. I still think she was too nice to Betty.
And if you are a praying person, Brandy could really use prayers. She's got some health problems right now. I do not know what the health problems are. It's not, I heard that all I was told was that she had health problems and she could really use prayers. And I've seen it posted by a couple other people. So if you're a praying person, throw some prayers up for Brandy, please.
If I shut off, I'll come right back, but I'm hoping I won't. It's saying it's plugged in, so it shouldn't.
It's okay.
But who knows with this thing? 14 days, and I haven't gotten the charger. I'm saying screw it and going over to Best Buy and getting one. I ordered one because I've already got a couple that didn't fit and took them back. So I ordered the actual one from the manufacturer. So it would be the right size because I'm tired of the wrong size.
Check your tracking. Find out. It's probably
I did. It's not. Yeah, I knew it was going to take time. That's why I didn't want to order that one.
Hear that going on?
Yeah, they were honest about that. Yeah, I knew from the get-go. But every time I tried another one, it wouldn't fit. So I said, piss on, I'll just order one.
Know what they're doing, so I don't know.
Yeah, totally different situation, totally different set of circumstances. I get that, but
he tried to be the media manager for them, and I asked Don. I was like, "Why is he trying to be a media manager for Monkey Vaughn?" He goes, "Is that what state is that in?" And I was like, "It's in Idaho, I believe." And Don said, "What the fuck? That doesn't make no sense." No, I'm gonna have to ask him about it when he gets back from.
Trishy 818. I do watch Queen Bee all the time. I watch everybody and everything.
I watch her sometimes, but
wait a minute. If you watch everybody and everything, how do you not know what's going on? How do you say you're out of the loop? You miss so much. Because that's exactly what you said. You're out of the loop. You miss a lot. How is that if you watch everything?
Queen Bee thinks something doesn't mean I have to think just like her. Everyone's entitled to have their own thoughts and opinions, and my thoughts and opinions might change in a week from now. Like, yeah, Miss Flip Flopper here, you aren't doing cases justice if you're not looking at everything and then thinking, oh, okay, well, like I'm just on the fence.
No, it's fine to look at stuff. What is not okay is to come out here and accuse the parents of the things you have. without any evidence.
But no, I think that, I mean, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything.
Trishy, I'm just wondering what your opinion is. I mean, you said you disagree with this narrative, so what narrative do you think happened? I'm just curious. Grandmas are like that. We get curious about things because we have lots of time to think. Actually, not this grandma. I have 3 jobs and 8 grandchildren. But, you know.
But here you are, putting your gossip out here.
I do too, Tammy. I do too. I want all this to stop. Sebastian to be put first. Honest, I just want him to come home.
This case will be solved. That's all that matters. Well, I hope so. From your lips to God's ears. I mean, I really hope. I don't love the fact that Mr. Proudfoot already said that for years to come we'll be talking about it. So I don't know what the hell that means. I can't
go back and listen to the whole conversation. Actually listen.
Can't make up my mind anymore either if I think that he's passed or if he's still somewhere. But with Katie's whole thing makes me think he's passed, but knowing that his meds aren't necessarily a life or death thing, well, that gives me hope that maybe he did get stashed somewhere if Katie didn't want to give him up, you know. But in cases like this with statistics, it's definitely going to have to do with Chris's family, Katie's family.
Why would she stash him? Because number one, she didn't have to let him go live with his dad. She had custody. He was living with her. Okay. He was going for his usual summertime visit when school let out. That's in the agreement. But for them to have stashed him somewhere, that would take money. Large sums of cash because
resources. You would have an accomplice.
You
that
don't think
premeditated.
Yeah, you don't think law enforcement would notice so much cash flying out of their accounts? I mean, no Windows updates. Jesus.
Kathy, I have to tell you a funny sidebar real quick. My dog just looked at my phone to make sure you weren't reviewing Betty.
Hey, I was going to tell you, you need to make sure that you've got all of your updates and stuff done because StreamYard, it's just done a whole bunch of updates too. So if you're having problems with it, it's because probably there's an update that needs to happen.
Yeah,
so
one just tried to come in and I delayed it until afterwards.
Just make sure that you go back and do it later.
I set it for auto, it'll do it. This first time it came through. I usually do the updates right away. That way they're out of the way. But maybe that could be it. Maybe I'm just getting the update that you said StreamYard's just updated.
Oh yeah, because you can go to dark mode on StreamYard now. You don't have to have a white StreamYard. It's got dark mode. It's also got reusable links. Like StreamYard's really, it's totally.
Oh, I'm gonna update it then.
You can create. Well, it updates on its own.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have the update come in. I haven't checked StreamYard honestly. I come in, go live.
Oh, see, when my Windows does its update because I don't use apps. Anyway. Sorry.
Well. Yeah, I usually just have the update scheduled as automatic, but I didn't. It came in now, and I don't want it to do it while I'm live because it'll shut me off.
Seth's family. It's somebody very, very, very close, especially, if I think about
and I had one of the IT guys that my hubby works with. He said that a lot of the you'd be surprised how many of the updates really don't benefit you, But he showed me which ones because, anyway, it's a whole thing. I'll tell you later. Come on now.
Him missing. That's what Chris has. Chris has the motive for Sebastian to be missing. Why?
What?
Well, he was worried about losing his house and losing everything, right? And
Chris has a motive because he was worried about losing his house and losing everything. Where'd you get this info from? That man's not losing his house. He's got a good job. He can take care of his bills. He's not out here getting money. Look, where are you getting this information from? What? That's news to me. Hey, Marigold.
I have never heard this before. And the fact that a YouTuber, okay, let's just, wild speculation, right? Let's say that she's accurate in this piece of information. How the fuck did you find it out? And don't you think that that's a little more invasive? Like if all of a sudden somebody came live and said, Marigold is valid, we know that you're 4 months behind on your mortgage payment. Wouldn't you be freaked the fuck out?
Yep.
Again, that's only an example, and I don't know if...
And it happens in life every day. People have financial issues.
Absolutely.
You don't shade them for it, but they're not having financial issues. And even if they were, it's none of our business.
Right.
Exactly.
And I believe Sebastian went missing before a CPS case could even be closed, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's been some months, but I will have to go back and check. But there's an open investigation, CPS investigation about Chris Proudfoot and Sebastian something, and it wasn't even closed. They didn't even
That's not true. And these people actually are good with putting out shit.
I think she might be dumber than Betty. I think she might be dumber than Betty, and I didn't think that was possible.
As far as I understand, there was not one. Is that correct, Voices?
I'm sorry. I had a text message come in, and I didn't pay attention. No, it's totally my
She's
fault.
saying that Chris's CPS case is still open and was still being active and investigated, and I don't believe that was the case.
I believe that all it had to have been closed because Faith came and spent her time with her father and Katie. So, and again,
and the recent one was on the other father. But okay.
Why is this? Why?
Yeah.
get to make up a decision on what was going to happen with the case, and poof, Sebastian's gone. I don't know any motive.
That is not true. The case that was still going on was his ongoing custody battle, you bimbo.
Seth would have. I can't think of any. Can you? I don't what motive would Seth have for poof making his...
What motive would Chris have? Because that's the worst thing he needed to happen during a nasty custody battle. Again, how would this be helping them? It wouldn't be. It would be hurting them. If he was a suspect, he would not be seeing his daughter. Do you see how ridiculous you sound? There is no way, if they thought for 1 second that Chris harmed that boy, that they would put another child in his care.
Correct.
Son disappear, and then also going out there and doing all the things he's doing to help bring awareness for his son. So thinking about it like that right in this moment, right now, that don't make sense, right? So that puts Seth very much on the back burner and Chris very much on the front burner. What would Katie have to lose or what would Katie gain, or what would her motive be? Because she was the mom, right? The only motive would be what for her? I can't even think of it. What would Katie's motive be for making her son disappear?
The only thing I think if Katie did something, it may have been a case of a snap, or I don't know. Some people believe that, it was to save her marriage. That my grandma's heart doesn't want to believe that.
Christina, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry you're not feeling good. I hope you get to feeling better. Probably because her and Jaundice is who went through the old Zillow. Yeah, that's true. They did. Yeah, behind on a mortgage, so you murmur your child. Oh, where's the connection? Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's gonna be the logical thing, because what we want the Gerber grow up life policy for all of what?
Well, wait, isn't Seth the one that has that policy?
Right.
Not even the Proudfoots.
I think I could believe a snap easier, but who knows?
See, but I just don't think that Chris Proudfoot would cover for her. If this is on Katie, Katie did something and Chris is helping cover, well, in time that will come out, because listen, I think Chris is looking for wife number 6 or 7 by now. You know what I mean? He's just that type of guy. So I don't think he'd have her back for too long, or he would love having something to hang over her too, though, right? That kind of person. But I don't know. I have no idea. He's apparently putting some pretty descriptive posts out. That are weird. Can't remember what they said, but they were weird.
They were enough to bother you that they were weird, but you can't remember. Okay. Can't fix stupid.
Aw. 93 years old. Wow. Darth Vader. Wait, what? Where was that? Okay, well, I have no report of it here in Texas yet. But did he pass away? Power Sox arranged for him to be taken to a program and guilted KP into sticking to the script. Guilted her to sticking to the script.
I could kind of think that maybe that would happen to you. See what I mean?
Why would the Bauer Sox arrange for him to be taken somewhere? Why? What was, for what motive, what purpose, what reason? If he was, like y'all say, going to live with Seth, problem solved, right?
I mean, you guys, I am truly all over the place.
But guilted her, how? Because she wants the money? I know people think she loves the high life or whatever, but are they really that kind of rich of people?
She loves the high life?
Oh my God.
She loves the high life?
Doesn't she have a job and works fucking too and contributes to that?
And goes to school, is a mom. Yeah, she doesn't strike me as the kind of goes out at night all the time. She just doesn't strike me as that.
This chair in the wall, or wherever she came from, she is a Betty super fan, because that seems like something Betty might have said.
She claims she don't like her, but she's like her. You get it? I know.
Yeah.
Or guilted her how? Was she hurting Sebastian? Well, then everyone knew that and was keeping that under wraps. Well, shame on everybody. I don't understand that. Guilting Katie Proudfoot to stay quiet. How? Is it money? Because it's a pretty large reward fund now that she could maybe get her hands on if she somehow could get away from freaking Cyclone Chris there.
And the other thing about that is, how would they get a program of some kind to hide him? I mean,
okay, so now Katie can get the reward money if she can get away from Chris. But she's not being controlled by Chris. And how would she don't want to get away from Chris, or she would. And how would she get the reward money? She doesn't know where he's at.
Auditor that would get caught at some point. I think if he's hidden, I think he's hidden with individuals.
There's a whole
underground kind of thing.
There's a whole, and one is specifically for fathers, to hide in these kind of situations. I know, and I was made aware of. Oh God, I was made aware of certain things, and it's very.
Of course you were. You shit were. No one is hiding him. No one has him underground. At least not the Proudfoots and Bauer Sox.
Given that they took all of their electronics and all of that, don't you think that they would have found some sort of a footprint trail to set something like that up?
Yeah. And like I said, there would be sums of money missing. They don't make cash. They get paid because they have legit jobs. So they get paychecks.
Coded very hush hush. But yeah, many years ago, I could have went into hiding with my daughters and myself many moon ago, but
yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. I was thinking about
there's places for fathers too. There's places for fathers and mothers. So yeah, I mean, there's a.
I was thinking about a facility of some kind. You know,
no,
like
straight underground fuckery.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be possible.
Why would the FBI now, after Tony Mathis said just a few days before that the law didn't really want a reward fund on this case, and then all of a sudden, boom, the FBI says $50,000 reward fund within days of Tony saying that? Interesting. So Tony lied, people. He lied to us.
Shocker.
Quite honestly, I'd much rather, I don't like her, but like get rid of Tony and just let Bullhorn Betty be your media manager at this point.
No!
No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I just don't, he looks like a...
Oh my God. Wow.
Why don't they talk about the spokesman's peen slip, green screen fail?
Yeah. I don't even know what to say at this point. I don't. The stupid-o-meter done broke.
I think.
My opinion is get rid of them both.
You don't. Well, yeah. I think he was a lot powerful by himself, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, before Tony, just about, and people keep saying this, and I think it's true. Before Tony, like everybody was supporting Seth.
Nope. I will not blame Tony 100% for this. Seth started this before Tony got involved. Did he contribute tremendously? Absolutely. But he's not the one who started it, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then he started getting, when he started changing around all of the PIs and everything, and then he's dead set on. And now I don't think he can get rid of Tony because I think Tony made him sign something. I don't know. It'll be all interesting to see. But again, like, it's not even really the important part. It's supposed to be about Sebastian. But there is nothing new to report on Sebastian. We're still at the same place, and we're going on 7 months this month, right? On the 26th of this month?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Jeez. So the only things that we know is Sebastian is still missing. Poof. No evidence of him ever leaving his home. And Chris says he knows he walked out that front door like he done seen him walk out the front door and somehow locked it behind him. I guess he's a magician.
Oh my God, don't you know what kind of locks were on that chair?
Doors lock automatically when they're closed, the way their locks are set up. Heck, my door will do that. That's, oh my. Oh, and she calls herself True Crime Voices.
I know. She is the true crime.
Oh my God. I got a headache from her.
And just poof.
Poof.
Poof, disappear. No neighbors' cameras catch it. No nothing. I do wonder about some kind of Wi-Fi blockers or something to distort neighbors' cameras and such for this.
Here we go again with the misinformation and outright lies. Nobody was blocking any signals. Chris wasn't in town. We don't know all the videos law enforcement have. Chris has not been named a suspect. Neither is Katie, neither has Seth. You got some evidence nobody else knows about. You need to bring it forward to law enforcement. Because according to you, you've got this case solved. Oh, and mind you, while I took screenshots of a chat today.
Oh.
It was Terry Lynn's.
Oh.
That MMO, the tarot card reader that we've reviewed, was in chat. I'm going to show you those messages, those screenshots when we do the Tony tonight.
Okay. Hey, in back chat is the news story by the.
Oops, I did it again.
By the what is it? It's WKRN News 2. It's 50 minutes old if you want to play it. It's about today.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be glad to end this.
Well, it'll just be a good palate cleanser after listening to this crazy loon.
Now you tell me how the newscaster, the professional, can get it right, but Betty cannot. Indirect contact means don't talk about them.
Oh wait,
don't hashtag them.
Honey, you're still on the share stuff. You haven't switched over yet.
Oh, it says share. Damn it.
Yeah, you haven't shared it yet because we're still on share screen.
Yeah, I thought it said share content and I thought it switched over. Sorry. I'll start it over.
To try to get both sides of missing boys' parents appearing in court today, but it did not bring them. And a missing boy's parents appearing in court today, but it did not bring them any closer to finding their son. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from Hendersonville back in February. His family was in the courtroom today for a YouTuber accused of harassing and stalking Sebastian's mother and step-grandparents. Now, an order of protection banned Andra Griffin, who's also known as Bullhorn Betty, from having any sort of contact with the family, directly or indirectly. Court documents also claim she violated.
A professional media person can get it right and understand it, but Betty says that she doesn't get it. Indirect contact. You can't hashtag them. You can't threaten them. You can't talk about them. Leave them alone.
Violated that. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in the Sumner County courtroom to try to get both sides of this story.
Sebastian Rogers' mother, stepfather, and step-grandparents have largely remained out of the media, but they claim Bullhorn Betty has stalked and harassed them. The courtroom was split today into two sides. The YouTuber and Sebastian's father, Seth, sat on one side. His mom,
that's
Katie,
all they had with
stepfather,
them?
Chris.
See, I knew all them people weren't there for Betty. And Katie's in the courtroom.
Yeah, Katie's right there.
Yeah. And I see all the people with Betty was where they were sitting in that row. Tony, Seth, and that girl. All them people sitting there were not for Betty.
Right, because it was a courtroom. There were other people that had to be called to see. You saw how big the stack of papers were in the green bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And step-grandparents were on the other side. Court documents claim Bullhorn Betty violated the order of protection by mentioning the family on a live stream. The brief hearing ended with the judge saying the matters would be heard on October 10th. Seth Rogers tells me it was frustrating to sit in a courtroom while his son is still missing.
It's his fault.
Extremely frustrating that I have to come here to support somebody.
No, you didn't have to go there. You should be supporting your son, not her. This is your doing as well, sir.
Which I don't mind coming to support somebody that's supporting my goal of finding my son. But the fact that I have to come here because four people, want to put restraining order against somebody who's just trying to find my son, and yet Sebastian is supposed to be her son as well.
Seth added that he believes Andra is only exercising her.
What about the cease and desist that he put on anybody that was legitimate in the beginning? Oh my God. Can you rewind him playing that and play that again?
Yeah.
frustrating that I have to come here to support somebody, which I don't mind coming to support somebody that's supporting my goal of finding my son. But the fact that I have to come here because four people, want to put restraining order against somebody who's just trying to find my son, and yet Sebastian is supposed to be her son as well.
Seth added that.
Wow. My God, Seth, you really are full of that kind of hate and anger towards her, aren't you?
Oh my fucking God.
You put that piece of shit Betty before your child today.
Oh my God.
Betty has threatened them. She has endlessly harassed and stalked them, and also had other people stalk them. What is wrong with you?
Dude, look at him. He's holding his cowboy hat in his hand, like motioning with it, gesturing with it.
Wow. Unbelievable.
He believes Andra is only exercising her First Amendment right and has not done anything illegal. I also spoke with Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, who says he has no comment at this time. In Gallatin, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
And a missing boy's parents appearing in court today, but...
Wow. I mean... What do you say now? What do you, I mean...
You know what I can say? Sebastian, your mama and your daddy love you. So does your mama and Chris love you. Your daddy loves you. Please come home. Please please come home. That's all I can say.
Amen to that.
No matter. That's what I can say. They love you. Please come home.
Hey, Tina. Hey, Lynn Loverlight. Sorry if I missed Amy Michelle. Sorry if I missed anybody coming in. Yeah. I can't. No matter what, I could not treat my...
Sorry.
I couldn't.
That you read off from the of them standing together. Tony called that a great interview.
Mm-hmm. He did.
It was a great.
He said it was a great interview. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so disturbing.
Yeah, it is very disturbing. I could not, when it came to our child, no matter how angry I was at my husband, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Because that's still his dad. Wow. And he knows what Betty's doing because he's behind a lot of it. What's everybody doing for the rest of the evening? I have to clear my head on that one. Hey, ASD, how are you? I can't believe I'm even surprised that anything surprises me anymore. But I just, at the end of the day, he knows what she's doing. And that's the mother of his child. And their son is still missing.
Well, listen,
and he put Bullhorn Betty before his son.
Yes. I honestly, like, I have always stayed quiet when people are like, oh, I think that he's letting his anger and his, like that he still loves Katie, all of that. And I've always stayed quiet because I'm like, no, I just think he's a POS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think he's just a POS. And I'm now beginning to think that, yeah, especially after today, his media person thinks that was a great interview. He thought it was a great interview to go in front of the news and support somebody who's been harassing
and
the other half of the family.
They bragged about how many people were there, and there wasn't.
Oh, I back up to most likely who gave the information about the Bower socks to Betty?
Mm-hmm.
Him.
Yep.
Most likely who gave any information about Chris and Katie to the public? Him.
Mm-hmm.
Who has done nothing but fuel hate and vitriol towards those two parents? Him.
Who made sure Nina could get on a platform to do her character assassination?
Him.
But I've taken heat because I've always said that stuff. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna, it's what's been done. It's not, I haven't made anything up. I have not lied about that man. I have only shown what and talked about what has actually been done. Today did it for me.
Yeah, I'm good. At this point, I'm good. I think that the people that stay quiet about this are the smarter ones of the bunch. And we heard a direct no comment. And I'm wow. Never in a million years. Mm-mm.
I just know that people need to keep fighting to put out the fires these idiots are fighting, causing everywhere, and all the misinformation. That's all we can do. And, keep his name in the forefront and try to stop all this bull crap going on. What a day it's been. Hey, Whispers. But I gotta go feed. What's
All right.
Wait a minute.
Thanks for having me, Kathy.
I'm coming back on later if you're around. But if not,
I may or may not be. I don't know. I may just go ahead and check
it's
out.
gonna be later because I gotta do a couple loads of laundry. I gotta feed the kids. God forbid they have to eat. Why do kids have to eat? Why do we need food? Period. I mean, it just takes us time, and that's time that we can't do something else. Don't you think food should be like the astronauts ready made? You just pop a little capsule and there's your whole meal. Wouldn't that be cool?
I mean, that was Willy Wonka. I mean, that's what happened to Veruca Salt. She turned into a big old blueberry.
Yeah, I don't want to turn into a damn blueberry. I just want to, hey, here's dinner. Wouldn't that be cool? You open up the cupboard and there's your little packets of different meals. You just pop one out. There you go.
Those are also called MREs.
No. They have to be in like capsule size though.
Oh, I see.
The entire meal.
Listen, that's not going to work for me because I like the flavor. I like the texture.
I don't like to take the time it takes to eat. Honestly, I don't. Some days it's like I just don't want to sit down and do it. I got too much else to do. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. But you can cook for me and I'll sit down and take my time eating it.
Oh, I love to cook. I do. It's like I can check out when I'm cooking, right? My favorite thing to do is put on a podcast and cook. Because I can just totally turn my whole brain off and I'll just, yep.
Well, my kids are letting me get off easy. They want ham slices and eggs. That's what they ask for as soon as they come home from school. So guess what they're getting?
Again, thanks for having me. And if I can come around, this might have just done it for me for YouTube for a hot minute.
Yeah, me too. But thank you, everybody.
I don't want to play with her anymore. I think everybody needs to just turn her right off. I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong, but I just think everybody just needs to freeze her ass out right now.
Oh, thank you, Lynn Loverlight. That's so sweet. Thank you.
I'll see you later. Email me if you need me, okay?
Yeah, I will.
All right.
I will.
Bye.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna end this and go feed my kiddos. They are hungry. I hate cooking, but since it's Tuesday, well, I was gonna make tacos, and I made them, but I forgot to stop. Well, it's not that I forgot. I didn't have time. My husband was already late for work, so I didn't have time to stop and grab the tomato and lettuce. And my little one, he wants nothing to do with them unless there's tomato and lettuce. So then he said he wanted ham and eggs. So you can have ham and eggs. It's, I have some thick slices of ham. Don't take long, It's already cooked, though, actually. All I got to do is make the eggs. I already did the ham. I had it cooking while I was here. Y'all didn't even know I was going in and out and going on the stove and checking it. See? Sometimes you can be incognito. But I just got to scramble their eggs. Oh, you're welcome, Brittany. Thank you for coming up. But thank you, everybody, for hanging with me. Do me a favor. Please hit that like. Sub up if you're not subbed up. You can also become a poolside misfit. And y'all have a good evening. And maybe I'll see y'all around if you're around later tonight. But I will be. And thank you, mods, for everything. I appreciate you so much. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye, all.